All right. Welcome to ABL Live. My name is Anthony Brian Logan. Thank you for joining me tonight. We got a few topics on deck for tonight's show. And thank you all for being here, whether you're watching it live on the restream, whatever it is, I appreciate it. We're talking about Ilhan Omar's comments about 9/11. Some people that did something, not really a big deal, right? But the shooting that happened in New Zealand is a tragedy. It's an awful nightmare. Why couldn't she have said that same thing about 9/11? I think y'all know the answer to that. Also, Attorney General William Barr, the real Attorney General, a guy that actually works, says that Trump's campaign was spied on. It's pretty clear to us that it was. But now we have people in the White House, in the cabinet, that actually believe the truth. And that's fantastic. Also, Julian Assange arrested, extracted from the Ecuadorian Consulate. What does this mean? Will it get extradited back to the United States? What's going to happen? I guess we'll all find out pretty soon here. There's a lot of stuff going on. We'll talk about all those aforementioned things and much more on tonight's episode of ABL Live. Thank y'all for joining. I see Finch Ryder, Tanya, Snow White, Clifton Bronson, Derek Stark Jr., Windy City, I see you, U812, Casey Crane, Susan Epp, thank you for joining, Conservative Kid 10. I appreciate y'all for being here, and we're going to get the show rolling right about now. So thank y'all for joining. Really appreciate it. If you are seeing this on the restream, live, whatever it is, please give the video a thumbs up. Click that button right there. It should be a little thumb button. Give it a thumbs up. Share the video, like the video, do all the good stuff. Favorite the video, put it in the playlist, whatever you can do. If you're not subscribed already, please do so. There should be a red button beneath me. Make that red button turn gray when you click on it. There should be a little bell right there as well. Click on that bell to put a little thingies on the side of the bell, the little look like parentheses. Make the red button gray, so whenever I go live, you should get notified. Now, sometimes the bell works, sometimes it doesn't, but it doesn't really matter. Go ahead and click on it right now. I'd appreciate it if you did. Oh, that's a good one, Windy City. I almost forgot about that one. Illegal immigrants being shipped to sanctuary cities. That's something that Trump administration is floating out there. I mean, it makes sense since you want to be a sanctuary. Here, take all these deportees. You know, take all these people that's coming across the border who want to go all over go right there to your city. How about that? And it's hilarious how some liberals are triggered about that, talking about, oh, he wants to increase the crime rate. Well, I thought all these so-called migrants were just starving, hungry, trying to seek asylum, women and children. That's what I thought. So rather than putting them in cages, how about we send them to your neck of the woods, Nancy Pelosi, Chuck Schumer? How about that? Now, I feel sorry for the regular people that are there to have to be subject to this. I really feel sorry for that. But hey, that's a leadership. You got to be able to protect your citizens. And if you have a sanctuary city, I mean, come on. That right there would be kind of a little fire up under some hind parts, so people can understand that you should not have these people, these illegals in your particular place. It's pretty simple. But yeah, that should be how that is. Send them to a sanctuary city and have that be that. And if people want to have their city be protected from illegals, from criminals, then that should be that. Oh, the cultural enrichment, Fraser Green, would be beautiful. I mean, all the graffiti, the gang graffiti, you know, Mara Salvatrucha all over the place. That'd just be wonderful. You know, like MA tagging stuff. You know, the angel of death all over the place. That'd just be beautiful. The murals would be fantastic. Now I know it'd be gang graffiti and it'd be pretty dangerous, but hey, it's okay. It'd be just fine. Shout out to Blitz Ace. Thank you for joining. Barrington Christian, I see you, boss. Let me see. Alrighty. But we got a lot to talk about here. Ilhan Omar. I mean, I told y'all about Ilhan Omar before. Some people tried to defend Ilhan Omar before. And when she was talking about it's all about the Benjamins, I'm like, see, I already know what's going on here. This is going to be somebody that's inflammatory a lot. So, here she comes with the whole, some people that did something. It's like, why not just say what happened? Just call it what it was. A lot of people died. Now, some people were in the comment section talking about, it was a conspiracy. That's all good and well. But at the end of the day, we know who hijacked the planes. We know people died. So it was not as simple as some people did something. And shout out to the New York Post for printing that cover in the newspaper. And it was crazy to see people like AOC and Rashida Tlaib try to defend it, talking about, they always do this to us because of women of color. They take what we say out of context. Well, women of color, Lynn Patton, Donald Trump's friend to the whole Trump family who came to defend Trump with Mark Meadows, is a woman of color, but you want to call her a token. So Rashida Tlaib called her a token. AOC doubled down on it, and nobody on the left defended Lynn Patton. So I would assume that you all think that she's a token as well. So I'm not trying to hear this whole women of color thing, because it's not even about that. It's about defending who you agree with. So you can leave race out of it. You would defend a caterpillar if they did something wrong that you want to think is right on the left. So let's not get into the whole identity thing. It's all about just trying to, be down with the team. That's simple as that. Thank you. Shout out to my man Shreves for joining. Hip Hop Independent. I see you, boss. Yeah, I heard about that. Susan Epp, that she married her brother to get her or him here. Yeah, I heard about that. It does seem like fraud to me. It's pretty clear. That's an open and shut case. If you get married to your brother, you're talking about incest and you're talking about fraud, visa fraud. So, something should be done about that. Shout out to Ken Lee or Ken Lai from Jamaica. Shout out. Cigar Box, I see you. Everything's good. Controversial reality. How about yourself? Oh, Candace Owens did a fantastic job, an excellent job wrecking Ted Lieu and Gerald Nadler during that congressional hearing. Fantastic job. People want to hate on Candace, but I think people need to stop hating. One thing that can help anybody press forward in life is appreciate those who are doing well and doing the right thing. No hate. If you have any kind of energy that's negative, directed toward people that are doing the wrong thing, people like your Jerry Nadlers, direct that hate towards them, and then, attack their politics, attack their particular stance, So yeah, she did a fantastic job. And you're starting to see much more of this come out. You're starting to see many more people like Candace, like myself, like Brandon Tatum, like many others that are coming out and speaking. They're being more vocal, being the face of the new right, which is what I believe. Yeah, it's all good. Hip Hop Independent. Some people hate. People hate when they are not in the same position that the person they're hating on is. That's all that it is. So it's all good. What do I think of Brexit? Hopefully Brexit continues. Hopefully they don't keep putting a pause on it. Oh, love the Hodge twins. Hey, they from Virginia too. So that's like my hometown boys right there. Shout out to the Hodge twins. They're from Martinsburg, Virginia, which is like an hour south of Roanoke, where my dad is from. And it's also like 45 minutes to an hour west of South Boston, Virginia, where my granddad is from. It's like 30 minutes west or more of Danville. Danville is where Joe Biden said they gonna put y'all back in chains. So shout out to Virginia. 757, I see you, Crimson Fox. Shout out to 757. All righty, 2 up, 2 down all day long. You're right about that, Windy City. Lamb of God, Virginia. Okay, Lamb of God. All righty. Michael Knowles. I heard about that. I saw that clip of the guy that came out and shot some kind of substance on him with a super soaker. Now, first, before I even say anything about that, shout out to the police for being right on top of that dude's head. They did a fantastic job. Second of all, I'm not sure how he got a super soaker into the actual place anyway. This ain't no pool party. We're not out here trying to have a cookout. This is a speaking engagement. So how'd you get that into the building? When I go to certain places, when I went to the Blexit rally in Richmond, I couldn't bring a selfie stick into the building. So how did you get a super soaker in the building? I don't know, but I digress. I don't know a lot about Michael Knowles. I've seen him on Fox News a couple times, and from what I've seen, he's a pretty level-headed and cool guy. Not even somebody that would warrant a protest. He was really nice. They opened the back door for him. Okay, I see. Guar's from Richmond. Shout out to the person from Richmond. I saw you post a little bit earlier. Big up. Black and Irish crazy chick, Sheena, Virginia Beach love. Shout out to Virginia Beach. All right, a lot of Virginia people representing tonight. Yeah, so, I mean, I think that Michael Knowles is a good guy. And whoever did that needs to go ahead and get sent to the penitentiary. Because now you kind of like are endangering people. And who knows whatever they squirted on him. It could have been anything. They're talking about bleach. I mean, what else could it have been? It could have been feces. Who knows what it was? Pittsburgh, Alabama, Pennsylvania, all over the world. Vilbo Salk coming from Chicago. All right. Shout out to you. Let me see. Daniel Malice says, did I see the CBS ad enticing violence towards conservatives from the show The Good Fight? I've not seen that. But I'm going to check that out as soon as I get a chance. And shout out to Super Shoutouts already. Jimmy from Philly says, what do I think of David Pakman, Soy Boy or no? I want to lean more towards Soy Boy on that one. You know, I don't know that much about him. I've seen him a few times speak. I think I saw him on Jesse Lee Peterson, if I'm not mistaken, and I've seen his channel. He's okay sometimes, but I lean more towards Soy Boy, but I won't call him an outright Soy Boy. If it was a scale that leaned one way or the other, he might lean more center to Soy Boy, if that makes any sense. And Valerie Rogers, thank you for your donation. She said somebody killed 3,000 innocent people. Exactly. Referring to Ilhan Omar's Some People Did Something. Crazy. Shout out to Ken Lee. Hopefully I did not butcher your name. Fred the Felon says, why did you beat up the lady on RT like that? I thought I was nice. I was nice to her. Shout out to M. Reese Everson. She's cool. But hey, when you got facts on your side, it ain't too much the person can do on the other side trying to debate you. And it's not my fault. I just come with the facts, and sometimes the facts can, the truth hurts, like they say. So I didn't throw narrow punch, but them truth bombs hurt like, Mike Tyson 1997 knockout punch. That's just kind of how it goes. Danny Williams. I think Danny Williams is Bill Clinton's son. He looks like him. He looks just like Bill. The only thing is that he's mixed, so he has the black features and the white features together. But I believe that's his son, for sure, because it's a lot of the same. I think that's his son. Yes, 100%. Jesse Lee Peterson, do I agree with his views? I mean, I don't know all of his views, so I can't really say if I agree with his views 100%. You have to say something specific and then ask me if I agree with that. But from what I've seen, generally, I think that he's on point, but I don't know all of what he believes in. So I can't really answer that with 100% certainty. Oh, yeah, Slick Willie. You don't know about Slick Willie having a mixed son in Little Rock? Yeah, Slick really is a Rolling Stone, 1,000%. It's a lot of that type of stuff going on. Yeah, so I'm not even really like, if you heard Danny Williams' story, it's pretty convincing to me. Now, it could all just be a lie to get attention, to try and be a rapper or something like that. But I've not seen him do anything other than just tell a story. He's not trying to capitalize on it like that, as far as I know. Maybe somewhat, but for the most part, it seems pretty legit. So shout out to Danny Williams. Yeah, journalism is a dying format. People that are like on TV, your CNNs, ABCs, NBCs, CBSs, etc., they're dying off. The people that are on social media, like myself, YouTube, we're replacing them because they are restricted. They're put into a box. They're in this corporate environment. They're only on TV certain times of the day. See, some of them now are trying to break into social media, but they're not as good at social media as we are, because if they were, then they would not need to have the corporate structure surrounding them. If people can't be independent, that's okay, because not everybody's cut out to be independent. Some people need to have the structure of a big company and whatnot around them for them to perform to their max, and that's okay. But if you're competing against independent people that can do whatever they want to do, whenever they want to do it, how many people that are in mainstream media can do this right now at 8 o'clock at night on a Saturday, just get on YouTube, get a crowd, and then speak and have what they say be what is most important? Most of them have to operate through the company. I'm Kristen Welker from NBC. I'm Chris Cuomo from CNN. I'm Don Lemon from CNN. I'm XYZ from XYZ station. That's how they got to be, rather than just standing on their own merit. Because if they were able to do that, they would not need the big infrastructure around them. So they're pretty much dying off because they're not trusting the big mainstream people. Everybody knows it's controlled. You got bosses, you got investors, but those of us on the outside are not as restricted. So they're dying off 1,000%. Yeah, Snowden is a sticky situation. It's really sticky. So I don't know what's going to go on with that. Because right now we're at the stage of he may be extradited back to the U.S. But the thing about it is that, what is he a citizen of? He was an Australian national, then he became an Ecuadorian national, but then that got revoked because his claim to asylum got revoked. So he's man without a country, pretty much. I would assume if you renounce your Australian citizenship and then you're stripped of your Ecuadorian citizenship, then what are you at this point? If you're extradited, I mean, it's just really weird. You have no country to back you up. So I'm not really sure what's going to happen with that. But as it stands right now, he got found guilty in UK of breaching bail because he left Sweden while he was on bail for sexual assault charges to come to UK to flee and be up in the consulate where he was seeking asylum for the past 7 years. The case in Sweden had been dropped since then because they were not able to serve him. But now they're saying they might bring it back up since he's out of the consulate. So people in UK want him to be extradited to Sweden first to so-called face the victims. I think that's probably BS in Sweden. They probably didn't want him there, and they probably wanted to get him arrested. So I don't know what's going on with that. The US wants him on the hacking charge, but if you're in UK, they have to be the ones to grant the extradition. So he may go to Sweden or US, or Sweden then US, or only Sweden, or nowhere. But he'll probably go to Sweden and US. That'll probably be the end result. But any jail time, I'm not really sure. Now, see, when he didn't want to leave the consulate because he was hiding. You see what I'm saying? He went to the consulate because he was ducking the charges in Sweden and potentially the charges in the US. So if you're inside the Ecuadorian consulate, they can't come in there and get you unless they get official word from the Ecuadorian government. That's what they got recently. That's why they're able to go in there and get him. They said, okay, cool, go in there, get him. So Scotland Yard came in there, extracted him. Now he's in custody of the Scotland Yard, UK government, whatever, however they do it. So he's in custody in UK. He's not in the consulate anymore. But we'll see. We'll see what happens with that. Yeah, now you ain't want to heard that the Swedish government dropped the charge because they could not serve him while he was in the Ecuadorian consulate. But now I'm hearing that they might bring it back up because he's out of the Ecuadorian consulate. Now they can just, serve him. But we'll see. And I heard he had some kind of panic button that he was going to push. That's why they were like taking him out by his hands and feet, like Uncle Phil, Fresh Prince, jazz style. That's why they, did him like that. Yeah, the Clintons most certainly were corrupt. Tony Rodham stole a bunch of money from Haiti with the fake gold mine. And Tony Podesta was a whole different animal. He was also with the Clintons. They have a whole syndicate over there that's really, really corrupt, and you really can't do too much with them. my teeth are white because my skin is dark, so it's a contrast, and I got good lighting, and I brush my teeth twice a day. That can help. I brush my teeth literally just now. I do that before every stream because it helps me just to stay hydrated. It's kind of weird, but yeah, I brush my teeth at least twice a day, sometimes 3 times a day, after meals. Let me see. Yeah, I don't know what's going to happen because it's weird how some people on the left are cheering the arrest because he Snowden. No, pardon me, that's Snowden. Assange is being arrested for what he was doing with Bradley Manning, aka Chelsea Manning. Chelsea Manning got pardoned by Barack Obama in 2017, if I'm not mistaken, after doing 7 years on a 35-year sentence up in the brig. So, you know, it's kind of a weird situation. Everybody's trying to figure out what side of the fence they want to be on. Yeah, whatever they want to, whatever Bradley, Chelsea, whatever they want to call themselves. Jimmy from Philly says, listen to Pacman analysis on Candace, total liar. Now, is Pacman lying or is that Candace? Because, I mean, I would think that Pacman lies. You know, he's, like I said, kind of on the fence of being soy boy. And people like that, they tend to try to attack big people, whether it be Trump, whether it be somebody like Candace, anybody that they could try to, any popular person like that that's on the right. Let me see. Yeah, it's weird when they say that because Assange was loved when he exposed Bush, just like James Comey was loved when he was on their side. But then when he came against Hillary Clinton, all of a sudden he became persona non grata. Matter of fact, it was reversed for them. They hated him when he came against Hillary, and then they loved him when he was seen as an enemy of Trump. When Trump fired him, they were mad at Trump. That's like, why are you mad at Trump for firing James Comey? Isn't that what you wanted? You said before the election actually took place, before November 2016, that you wanted James Comey out of here because what he did to Hillary Clinton, writing that letter talking about how corrupt she was. But now that he got fired and Trump didn't like him, all of a sudden he's your hero and you love him. Same thing with John McCain. They hated John McCain. They said he was a racist, all this, that, and the third. But at the end of his life, when he became bitter and vindictive and tried to just, stop everything that Trump did, all of a sudden he was a hero. It's funny how that works. Oh, Ken Starr, good grief. Let me see. Here's a good. Toy Aries says, Assange leaked some dangerous secrets of ours and others military, but he also leaked all kinds of political secrets. It's not about size, it's about rights of the free press. Did he cross any lines? I don't really know. The only thing they can get him on is if he hacked the Pentagon. If he did that. Now, I don't know if there's any kind of evidence that suggests that he did. So I would like to see that trial play out and see any kind of evidence. If we can get a FOIA request on that evidence, I'd love to see it. Because if you had the Pentagon, I mean, how can you say that that's okay? But if he was just giving stuff by random people, then how can you say that he's wrong for that? If I get a letter at my front door with information in it and I publish it, is it my fault for publishing it? See, now we're getting into murky waters. But if I stole it, then I published it, now it's a whole different ball game. If I stole it, that's like what the Russians are being accused of. Hacking into the election, changing votes, restricting. That's what Russia is being accused of. There's no evidence of that. And they want to try to get Trump on that with no evidence. So if Assange did that, keyword if, then you got to be consistent. You got to say that he has to be punished for that. But if he was just giving information, then that's something different. You can't say that he's wrong for just publishing information he was given. Shout out to Tune In Drop Out, who says Assange on whole has done more good than harm. He was instrumental in the 2016 election. I think he has an agenda, but say what you want. Nothing he has published to date has been proven to be false. Hey, I'm right there with you, boss. I'm right there with you, man. I agree with you, but we got to be lawful at the same time. So like I said, if he was given the information and he didn't steal it, then I'm with him. If he stole it, that's something different, because now we're setting a precedent. If we say that it's okay to hack into the Pentagon, anybody can do it, and people can do it for the wrong reasons. You see what I'm saying? There you go. During 1804, you don't get exonerated for your crimes because you also did good works. That's correct. But we'll see. Like I said, we're not even at the stage of the actual extradition from the UK yet. We're way away from this really being a topic that will be truly discussed, because we're not at the point where we're going to be getting into the trial in the US, all that good stuff. Abandoned Adventure says, two peanuts walked down the road. One was assaulted. Hey, shout out to this joke and shout out to the donation. Definitely appreciate you. Now, Susan, hopefully you don't live in a dangerous place, because I've seen people like New York. It gets really weird when you wear a Trump hat. And I think it really depends on how you look and what kind of person you are. I can wear a Trump hat. I never had too many problems. I've worn my Trump hat in DC, Phoenix, and airports in New York, Dallas, Atlanta. I never really had any problems. I've worn it around here where I live in Chattanooga. But I live in a conservative place. The city is kind of liberal, but generally it's a conservative place. We have a conservative governor and a House rep. All the U.S. House reps are conservative, and the governor is also conservative. And I've met the governor, and I've also met the House rep for our area, Chuck Fleischman, and the governor, Bill Lee. So, and they're all just really nice, down-home guys, super, super nice. So I don't have any kind of problems like that. Yeah, Chicago, hey, I don't want to do it, Windy City. If I go to Chicago wearing the Trump hat, I'm going to put on a bulletproof vest. I might have to have my Trump hat be a ballistic helmet. I don't want no problems. I'm not trying to be the tough guy for real. I don't have any problem because I'm kind of a big guy. I'm 6'3", so I don't really have problems. People coming nuts to me like that, but I don't want to test anybody because hey, there are some people that don't care, big or small. They're gonna press you, and those are the ones I don't want to face. A guy like that. Like a guy like Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson really was only about 5'8", but he grew to become a monster, and he would knock down giants. So I don't want to be in New York walking, minding my own business. All of a sudden, hey, come here, and all of a sudden I'm on the ground. I'm good. I'm just fine. And you can't really be traveling with your pistol on you like that because I can't be on the airplane with my gun. So I don't want to, I don't want those problems. Around here where I live, I'm perfectly fine. But if I got to travel, nah, I think I'm good. That's what I thought, history buff. I thought that Chicago was MAGA country. That's what I was led to believe. But I guess that's not correct. I guess that's not correct. I was raised socially conservative, but not politically conservative. That's all. Hey, California Critic, you're right. I can wear a MAGA hat because, hey, that's that black privilege right there. I'm untouchable because I'm black. Now, if you got a white person that wants to stop me from wearing a Trump hat, then now they're going to be, oh, it's a hate crime. What is that in the third? So, yeah, I don't have those kind of problems. And I'm a big dude. So I don't have issues in general, period. So I don't, it's all good. Laredo, Texas. Now, Laredo, is that like, is Laredo closer to like, El Paso, or are we talking about Houston? I'm not really sure where that is. Because in El Paso, when I was in El Paso, it was all good, super conservative. Oh, border town, yikes. Well, El Paso was a border town too, and it was cool there. I didn't have any problems. Mexico, like, is it like all the way at the little, like down that way, or like which part? Yeah, so it's all good. I do have black privilege, ain't no question. Yes, I do have black privilege. I can go on TV and say certain things that white people can't say. I know that is a absolute fact. I mean, if I get on TV and say black folks should not do reparations already been paid through affirmative action and welfare, EBT, WIC 10. If I was a white guy saying that, I would instantly get called racist. They would try to fire me from my job, all of that. But since I'm black, nothing's going to happen. I could say whatever I want, nothing's going to happen as it relates to that. Some liberals may not like it, but they can't get me fired from my job or anything. That's just the truth. You know, I'm not saying it's good or bad. It's just the reality of the world in which we live. It's simple. Yeah, I mean, hey, I take advantage of everything I have. That's what I was always told by my father. It was like, look, you have certain things you're able to do in society. You have certain gifts you were given by God. Take advantage of them. And I do all day. That's why I don't have these kind of chips on my shoulder and I'm not complaining and crying about life because I take advantage of what I've been able to be given. I'm not saying it's bad. I mean, I'm not saying anything. It is. I'm just saying it's the reality. I don't really, you know, it doesn't really affect me one way or the, you know, whatever advantage I have, I take advantage of. If it were to be taken away, then I don't really care. It is what it is. I don't want reparations. I don't need none of that. Let me see. And did I get everybody? I think I got everybody. Let's go ahead and get to the calls. You guys know the drill. The number to call is 434-658-1220. Thank you to Zookeeper for the donation. Most certainly appreciate you. Do I take advantage even if it's morally wrong? I mean, what's morally wrong about being black and being able to say certain things that others can't say? How is that wrong? I think it's morally wrong that you are white and can't say whatever you want to say. I think that anybody should be able to say whatever they want without having to get their lives ruined. That's just how I feel, especially when we're talking about things that are kind of innocuous, harmless things. It's morally wrong for them to be put in that situation. So I don't think it's morally wrong for me to be able to say things. I think that's right. I think we all should have that right. Just because some do not have the right does not mean that I'm wrong for doing it and being able to. That's just all that it is. You know, but I'm not really an emotional guy like that. I'm all about just what makes sense, what's legal, what's logical, all that good stuff. I don't really, you know, I don't look into things that deeply for the most part. I'm a pretty simple guy. Freedom of speech, 100%. Let me go ahead and get my calls up. And let's see if Skype wants to play nice today. I doubt it, but it is what it is. The Young Turks, not a fan at all. All right, let me get my, you guys can't hear the dinging. I'm gonna go ahead and turn it off, turn it down so it won't drive me crazy. Okay, let me get 1 second here and let's try this. There we go. Okay, cool. Good money. Let's get to my first call. 571, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to? All righty. What's going on? Everything is good. Can't complain.
You could have answered my call last time, but I have a list here I want to go through. Dr. Shiva. That guy is a modern day or a real life Sheldon Cooper.
You're talking about the guy from Doogie Howser? Oh no, you're talking about from Big Bang Theory.
There you go.
Okay.
Jim Parsons. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Candace Owens. This is the thing that I don't know. I've been dying to mention this. You know, she's a Democrat.
Well, I don't know what her political actual standing is as far as what she registered as.
Well, I looked her up on WikiLeaks, and it said that she turned to Republican in 2017. But on the video that you played about Candace Owens ripping Ted Lieu and Jerry Nadler. She introduced herself as being Democrat.
Well, she said she was previously. Because somebody said that to me in the comments. They were like, she was Democrat or she is Democrat. It was kind of hard to hear. She kind of like was speaking fast. She said that she was Democrat.
Yeah, she said, I'm a Democrat. When in her introduction, and actually I watched your video about her half a dozen different times just to make sure I wasn't hearing it wrong. And on your video, of course, you have a little bit of introduction in the beginning, but at 2 minutes and 14 seconds, she says, I'm a Democrat. I was surprised because I didn't know that, and she's a conservative Democrat.
Nah, she's not a Democrat. So that either she misspoke or it was kind of hard to hear, but she's not a Democrat.
You go back and watch your video at 2 minutes and 14 seconds. She says, "I'm a Democrat."
I understand that, but she's not a Democrat. So either she misspoke or it was just something wrong with the video. But I know her, and she's not a Democrat. So
I know you know her. That's why I wanted to ask you about that.
Yeah, she's not.
Okay,
she's
well,
not.
She introduced herself to Congress as a Democrat. Now, they could get her for lying about that. She's not. Okay, your debate on RT.
Yes.
With Reese Everson. I'll tell you what, she is a crackerjack. She needs to pal up with AOC.
Yeah, Reese.
She's a Democrat too.
Yeah, she's hilarious.
They're both crackerjacks, meaning they got their degrees out of a crackerjacks box. So, I mean, that Reese Everson, I mean, all she said were just buzzwords and buzz phrases. That's all everything she said was just parroting something she heard somewhere else, I guess. Okay. And I think towards the end of your show last time, you mentioned something about transgender. I have a relative who is that way, and it was a shock to me. But I think transgender for a man to want to be a woman, that's just hiding their gayness. Okay, they're just obviously if they want to be a woman, they want to attract a man. And then
I think the whole thing with transgenders is that they have a mental illness because I think they have like a 40% suicide rate, something very high like that. So you're talking about people.
Oh yeah, I know.
Yeah, it's a mental problem that they're dealing with mostly.
Yeah, but I mean, so are gay men as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, then you mentioned something about Chelsea Manning, Bradley Manning.
Yes.
Was he in the Army or the Marine Corps?
Army.
Well, then it's not the brig. The brig is the Navy and Marine Corps. I think they call the prison in the Army, they call it the stockade.
Okay.
That's what I thought, anyway. But I was in the Navy, so I know the brig is Navy and Marine Corps.
Well, it says right here that she was held in the Marine Corps brig in Quantico.
Oh,
but I don't know why they had her there, but that's where they held her. But she was in the
all right,
in the Army.
Okay, but they held her in the Marine Corps jail in Quantico, which would be technically called the brig. Okay,
that's right. Yeah, I don't know why they did that, but they did.
Okay, well, it's all DOD, so
there you go.
There's it doesn't make any difference. Anyway, I was afraid I was going to take too much time on those 5 topics, but I'm done. So it was very nice to speak with you tonight. I hope you have a great. I'll be watching your show for the rest of the evening, but I thank you very much for taking my call.
Well, thank you for the call. Definitely appreciate you.
You're welcome. Stay safe and keep on trucking.
Will do.
All right. Take care. Bye-bye.
All right. I think it's Richard from Honduras for the call. Most certainly appreciate him. Yeah. So, yeah, Chelsea Manning. Hey, out there doing speaking engagements and whatnot. Thank you to Zookeeper for the donation. Definitely appreciate you. I mean, if they let Chelsea Manning go, Chelsea with the commentation from Barack Obama to like 7 years, the person did 7 years out of 35. So if they're going to get Julian Assange, I'm not really sure what the sentence is going to be. That's if they can get him back to the U.S. That might be kind of a challenge, but we'll see about all that. Let me get to my next call here. Okay. 702, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, what's up, man? This is Mark.
All righty, Mark. What's going on?
Well, nothing much. I think this Julian Assange arrest, to say that he actually did something wrong or is a threat, is kind of a joke in a country where you have open borders, the government spies on you. The Clintons, I heard, gave every single patent in the 1990s to China for free. They, in the past, were not a military threat to us, and some of the technology from Chinagate via the Clintons given to China gave them the military capability to strike us and do us harm. And then you have like a typhus from illegal aliens break out in LA, so people are getting typhoid Mary down there. So for them to say that like Julian Assange is some kind of threat and some kind of danger, it's like, to who? You empowered just about everyone who could challenge the USA. You gave away the store to them already.
Yeah, I mean, I'm with you on that. There's a whole lot of things that should be addressed, that need to be addressed, that are illegal, that are going on. Nobody really cares. So, yeah, as far as Assange, I'm not sure what they're going to get him on, if they can even get him, because we're not even at the point right now of extradition. He's still in UK. So I don't know what they're going to get him on or how it's going to go. It's kind of a little bit too early to tell, really, because he may actually come to the U.S., get sentenced, and then get a pardon. I don't know what's going to go on. We'll see.
Yeah, I heard he did do some massive, like WikiLeaks released some massive file dump after his arrest.
It probably did happen, because I heard he had some kind of panic button up there in the consulate that he could just push whenever he needed to just do some kind of mass dump of information about Ecuador. So he probably had the same button about just content in general he wanted to push out, but we'll see.
Yeah, it's hard for me to judge this case. I don't know that much about it. You never know if what you're getting is the truth. I heard that like the USA or like Ecuador got like a $4.2 billion in funding, like a month after, like, or before his arrest or something like that. And also, I do think that if Julian is for real, I do think he's some kind of a genius, because some people are calling this like a massive loss for the real info war, because he had like 100% accuracy rating.
Yes, he did. He really did. And I'm not really sure how he was conducting business while he was in the Ecuadorian Consulate, if he was. I'm not really sure, because I think that even if he goes away, that's not going to stop what was going on, because he was getting a lot of stuff submitted to him anonymously. People were just sending things to him. I think that's what happened with Bradley Manning. He was giving stuff to WikiLeaks. It wasn't like Assange was just out there just scouring the streets to get all this information. So even if he goes to jail, you still have info getting leaked out to WikiLeaks.
Yeah. I just don't see the harm, you know, like Julian Assange isn't going to flood every major city in America with illegals that have typhus and MS-13. They're going to do drive-bys in front of my house. Like, Julian Assange isn't going to do that.
You're right about that for sure.
Yeah, and Julian Assange isn't going to get, like, you get scholarships and tuition money and state jobs like Kamala Harris is going to give illegals. And it's like, meanwhile, the vets and Americans go into debt slavery, and they're like, hey, American, you want to work the rest of your life and give 20% of your wages away for the cost of your college tuition that illegals are going to get on scholarship from de Blasio, who already embezzled $1 billion? Some deal, huh, sucker?
Yeah, I mean,
also,
you're right. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, you good. Go ahead, boss.
Also, what was I going to say? I think we should borrow some leftist tactics, because I guess Ilhan Omar is now playing the victim. She says she's getting death threats. And I think we should use leftist tactics and be like, because of Ilhan Omar's camel whistling, we have guys throwing white babies off of the second story of the Mall of America.
Camel whistling, hilarious. Yeah, but I saw that. That was absolutely crazy. And isn't the Mall of America in Minnesota? And isn't that where Ilhan Omar is from?
Exactly, yeah.
And who was the guy that did that? Like, I heard he was illegal or legal. I'm not really sure. I'm not really sure who that was that did that.
I'll try to find his name. It's definitely out there. It says Emmanuel Deshawn Aranda.
Oh, okay. Well, okay. I think I might know where the person came from.
But he has that name, that Emmanuel is like a dual citizen name, so you never really know. But I think they should change it from the Mall of America to the Mall of Mogadishu.
Really? Seriously? Because that's pretty much where they hold up at. Also, a lot of Kenyans up there as well. Because I knew a guy from Kenya and in Virginia, and I asked him, because he said he lived in Minnesota before. I was like, oh, it's a lot of Somalis up there too, right? It was like, yeah, we all pretty much up there together. That's their little enclave in America.
Yeah, I hate to bring this up, but you know who they say is responsible for Minnesota's transformation?
Who's that?
Bush and Jesse Ventura.
I wouldn't doubt it.
Yeah, he dropped all those people there and changed it from the Midwest to the Middle East in one fell swoop.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah, and I know that I'm going to jump around on topics here. I won't take up too much of your time, but, now with that, we got some of that stuff out of the way, and then Barr says Trump was spied on. Hey, we're all spied on. And I think that your show is one of the few voices that is still out there, because it just seems like with Julian getting arrested, I don't know if you know who Henry Mankow is. He thinks the thing is fake, but some people think Assange, that's a bad sign, you know what I mean? So it just means and then they say the internet is turning into the splinter net, and you just wonder how many truthful voices are out there. So for you to talk in your opening monologue about morality, yeah, you're using your voice in a very moral way by speaking out now while you have the time, because the door might be closing. But that stuff is too weighty. Let's get to some really, really, really important issues, and that is rappers trying to go into country music. That might be the most important topic of our time.
Yeah, that's super important. Way beyond the illegal immigration, all the crazy outbreaks of disease. Yeah, that's super big right there. That guy tried to put a rap song into country music. That was, come on, it was rap.
Yeah. We already have Hootie, and I loved Hootie a lot. He's great. Hootie is awesome. But this new guy, when Tariq calls in, and he says that black masculinity is under attack, and I hear a guy claiming to be country music, and his song is called Horses in the Back, and he talks about wearing Gucci on his booty. The song is about bestiality. It's about oat-bagging a horse. The guy is fruity. He's got pink chaps on.
Hey, I didn't even hear all that or see all that. All I heard was the 808s, the 808 drum pattern in the back. But I didn't even see the video and the pink chaps and all that good stuff. But yeah, if that's going on, then he's got to get out of here.
I made up the part about the pink chaps, but when he says sorry, go ahead.
Nah, go ahead.
Oh, yeah. And then he got Billy Ray on there, and I think that Miley Cyrus, she's one of the most atrocious things I've seen in my life. The stuff that she's pulled off on stage is worse than some of the most, dark web, smut, vile material you can view. I think Miley Cyrus is worse. So for, Billy Ray to support this guy, whose song is absolutely clearly about veiled bestiality, is a really, Billy Ray is a disgrace. He should hang his head in shame. And I wouldn't even trust my pet gerbil around that rapper.
Well, hey, you got it right there. I can't even add no more on top of that.
Cool, man. And last thing I'll say is, what was I going to say? The France has yellow vests, and it's like illegals are going to get government jobs and in-state tuition while we go into debt for lives. It's like, what's it going to take for Americans to do anything? The French are an inspiration. And last thing is, your interview with Dr. Shiva was excellent. I think he's one of the most powerful minds out there. I think he's on an Assange level. Truly he is. I think a guy of that kind of brain power is a severe threat, which means I doubt he would ever make it. But for you to have a voice like that on there was top-notch guest. I mean, that dude, he would be a legend. If you could get someone like that at the helm, you could really compete. But I just think that what we have is kind of a front and a charade. But I'm still on the the Trump train until somebody better comes along. But I'm not as fired up as before. But thanks for your time, sir. Have a great show. Thanks for taking my call, by the way. It looks like your viewers they're growing all the time. I see you in all these places. They're linking to your videos on like these esoteric sites that I go to. So it's like your reach is like really going out there. In fact, I'll leave you. And Candace, it said that Candace her video was the most ever watched congressional C-SPAN video.
Yeah, that was.
And
wild.
It was on. What's that?
So that was pretty wild to hear that.
Yeah, and so they showed her link, and that was on investmentwatchdogblog.com or investmentwatchblog.com, and then your video is on there. Oh, wow. So that's kind of an esoteric news site for truthers and stuff, like real underground, those smarty like types, and they link right to your video. So I'm like, oh my gosh, So anyway, I'm gonna leave you, but thanks for your time. You're getting out there.
Thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
Take care. Bye.
All right, glad to hear that because being linked to somebody like Candace and many others, and being on some of these websites and blogs, I like hearing that. That means that it's getting out there. People are hearing my message. They understand what I'm saying. They feel where I'm coming from. So that's great. So shout out to my man Mark for the call, and shout out to all these websites that got my good stuff on there. But let me get to my next call here. 360, you're the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, man, this is a High Lonesome Hillbilly. How you doing?
Everything is great. How about yourself?
I'm well, thank you. Yeah, I've been watching you too. I saw you on the RT, man. You were great. It's always good to hear someone with a Southern voice, something like that. But I wanted to say real quick. One thing, real quick, is that with Candace being a Democrat, sometimes that's the best conservative. She knows all the junk that went on that side, and that's one thing I just want to say. But the other important thing I want to say is, I was in the chat watching, they were talking about Ilhan Omar, and she was saying, that CARE started after 9/11, and I my question, and then, I pointed out that you had found out that, it started at 95. And my question is this, okay, she came here as a refugee, so she's no longer in danger. We've made her rich. Isn't it time for her to go home and help and heal her homeland and not tear down the nation that saved her?
I mean, that would make sense, wouldn't it, to go home and help and give back? And, but she understands that this is the best country. This is the best country on earth. Why go back to, where's she from? Somalia or Sudan or Somalia, one of those. I'm not really sure. But either way it goes, she knows that she's in the right place now. There's no point in going back home to third world country, living rough. She can speak the way she speaks now because, number one, you have freedom over here. You go to these countries where she came from, like a South Sudan or something like. Try to be an outspoken journalist, Ethiopia, Richard. Yeah. You get sent to the penitentiary. You might get killed just for being outspoken, but you don't have that happen here. You're safe here. So she's safe. Mm-hmm. She has a good life. She can get married to her brother. I mean, whoever she wants, and then everything is just fine.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, I see that. I understand exactly what you're saying, but see, I'm from Appalachia, and if I ever got to where I had a situation where I, all of a sudden I'm rich and stuff, I'm going back home and helping people, the poor people in Appalachia, man. I don't understand it.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. It makes a whole lot of sense, but people don't, a person like that is all talk. They talk about, trying to help the downtrodden and all this and that, but really they're just trying to help themselves in their political career, man. And they're trying to make money. Yeah. So all this, the headscarf and all that kind of stuff, I bet in her normal life before she became in politics, she probably didn't even wear a headscarf. She probably was a normal girl, listening to NSYNC and Backstreet Boys. Now all of a sudden that it becomes politically expedient to do all this Muslim stuff. Now she wants to be all radical. It's all a game to me.
Yes, sir. Yeah. Yes. Well, all right. Hey, man, I appreciate you taking my call, and I've called you before. I've got a channel. I'm trying to get it started. It's a bluegrass gospel. My parents were bluegrass gospel singers in Kentucky, and I'm gonna be heading back to Nashville that way. I'll message you and stuff if I come around Knoxville, man. I'd really enjoy meeting you.
Oh, it'd be great, man. Absolutely.
All right. Thank you very much, and keep doing what you're doing, man. I tell you what, man, when Candace was talking to that Lou, man, I swear, man, I was about to cream my pants, man. I was jumping up and down. I was just like, look at his face, man. What kind of, did you see when, when she said, you didn't listen to me, and he just like shrugs and makes this dumbass, man. That Nads guy, he's messed up. Oh, hey, one more thing. I just remembered Scott Adams. He's saying now that he thinks that white nationalist should be a racist word that people should not be able to say to white people. So
there you go.
All right, man. Hey, have a good evening, man. I'm always watching you, man. Keep it up. Thank you, sir. Bye.
Thank you for the call.
Yeah, man.
All right. Shout out to the caller. Great call. 100%. Yeah, you're right, Sean Wilson. She was, speaking fast, but that's a big stage to be on, because like the previous, I think my man Mark said that was the most viewed clip in C-SPAN's history. In the history. So she had the whole world watching. That's a hot seat to be in. It's hard to be right there. So she did fantastic. So shout out to Candace. Nadler. Yeah, Nadler. I think Nadler became a meme when the whole thing about when he was out there speaking about Trump, and it was a guy that came and heckled him. Said, you guys are a bunch of losers. You lose once again, Nadler. So every time I see Gerald Nadler, I'm going to call him Nadler. I'm going to express the last name to refer back to that meme so we don't forget. And shout out to everybody in the chat. We got 538 in the building. Please give me a like, a thumbs up on the video will go a long way. Tremendous. And the topics tonight, we're talking about a lot of different things politically related. If you just came in, we're talking about Ilhan Omar's comments. What she say? Talking about some people did something as it relates to 9/11. William Barr saying that Trump was spied on during the campaign, Assange being arrested, and other things that got her through the baby off the top of the what was that, Mall of America. There's a lot of different things going on. And shout out to Jose Alba for the super chat, who says Obama just repeated Trump in Berlin. Now, what did he say? You got to call in, Jose, and thank you to a real man who says, thank you for quality entertainment and honest information. Well, thank you for recognizing that. I try to come and just be myself. I like for people to be entertained and interested, but at the same time, get quality information. I want to make sure I'm factual. I want to make sure I'm correct. But at the same time, I don't want it to be too dry and boring, because why would you watch? You could just read the paper if you want to get straight information, but you watching me, you want to get, a pleasant and fun experience as well. But shout out to all the callers, and I got a lot of them on the line, so I try to get to you as soon as I can. But let me get to my next call here. 989, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to? 989.
99.
That's you, boss.
Yeah.
Turn speakers down in the background for me, please.
What's that?
Turn speakers down in the background for me so you can just talk straight to the phone.
Oh, all right. I turn it down.
All righty. What's going on?
Nothing, man. How you doing today?
Everything's good.
Yeah. So what's going on with all this drama? I mean,
what drama is that?
Well, you got the AOC. She is intellectually unstable.
Yeah, it's a lot of stuff going on. I mean, but what's on your mind specifically? Talk to me.
Oh man, I'm trying to watch you, but I can't see you when you're talking.
Yeah. Don't watch. Just talk to me on the phone, because there is a delay. So just talk to the phone. Don't watch the stream at all right now.
Oh yeah, I appreciate that.
No problem.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna let you go.
Okay. All right. Now take care. All right. It's all good. Hey. Yeah. Call back again. Whatever you want to talk about, we can talk about. It's all good. But to anybody that wants to call in for the first time, you cannot look at me and talk on the phone at the same time, because there is a delay in the stream. And the reason why it's a delay is because the latency helps with the quality of the stream. So talk to me on the phone only, or if you're on Skype, just talk to me through voice on Skype, but you cannot watch me at the same time while you're on the phone. But shout out to my next caller here. Who do we have? 513, you're on the line. I'm speaking to.
Janice Page.
Say what now?
Janice Page.
All righty. What's going on?
Hey, I was just listening to the program, and I was happy to see a telephone number I could call in and say something. People are missing something watching this stuff. Get the little girl being the little Muslim girl. Y'all missing the point. She's got you looking at the things that she's saying as anti-Semitic, when in fact she's getting the Muslim people together to do some ugly stuff like they've done in the other countries.
Okay. Talk about that. Expand on that for me, please.
Okay. Let's see. How can I give this credit? I'm 75 years old. I'll be 76 next month. I've lived on this earth long enough to read people. They can tell you one thing, and if you're not watching the body language, you'll miss the whole show. Now, she's in there talking about all this, somebody gives something to somebody. It's not because she don't understand what she's saying. She knows exactly what she's saying. She's using the term, what's the term? Oh, goodness.
Takia?
Metaphor. She's using metaphor. And people are hearing one thing, but it's actually meaning something else. If you look at her when she's talking, her body language, facial expressions, and listen to words that she says, and then think about the things that's happened in the other countries, and what happened when the Muslims would all start invading these other countries. She's now trying to get the Muslims in this country riled up to start doing things. She's saying you should be angry. We're being discriminated against every day. I don't think you're being discriminated every day. My sister-in-law is a Muslim, and she don't discriminate against me, and neither do I to her. And she has friends that are. They're nice people. But the people she's talking about are not very nice. They're just like her. They can look at you in your face and smile, and if you don't watch your back, you'll have a knife sticking in it. Now, as far as her leaving this country, she's here now for a reason. Her father brought her because the United States took pity on them and brought them out of Somalia. But she's gotten in touch with the wrong kind of folks. It's got her thinking the wrong kind of way. But she wants to bring the United States down. And she wants to get the Muslims here in the United States part of the program to help bring it down. That's all I got to say.
Well, thank you for the call. I definitely appreciate you. Very wise words.
And just, as my mom used to say, mark my words.
All right, I believe you.
Mark my words. Be safe.
All right, you too.
Bye-bye.
All right, great call. Hey, that was a good point about Ilhan Omar trying to radicalize, trying to rile people up. Some people did something. We were facing an oppression. We were doing this. So, I mean, you kind of sounding like, you know, some of these so-called speakers over in the Middle East. Or like, what's the guy in UK? The guy with the glasses, big beard. Pretty much everybody in UK is Muslim, but you understand what I mean. He's like a really popular speaker. Anjem Kodri or something. I can't pronounce his name. I think he's a East Indian guy, if I'm not mistaken, that's living in the UK right now. I think he's from Pakistan. He's in UK, real popular speaker. He does a lot of that same thing that a person like Ilhan Omar would do, but he's more radical. He's more out and open with it. He'll get on TV and basically just yell at you, scream you down. Ilhan Omar is a little bit more subtle, but a lot of the same sentiments. Yeah, Anjem Kodri. Yes, that's correct. Thank you, Cigar Box. She kind of reminds me of him now that the lady just called, kind of just put that in my mind. I'm starting to see the parallels between the two of them, but let me get to my next call. All righty. 208, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, this is Heather.
All righty. How's it going?
Doing all right. Doing great now.
Good.
So I have a couple things to talk about. One is Ilhan Omar. Did you see the second part of, not the second part, but the additional part of what she said when she referred to the tragedy in the New Zealand mosques in the same conversation or the same speech she was giving?
Yeah, I saw that later after I did my video. I think my brother Lucas had it up on his video where he showed
Lucas
where
is your brother?
not literally.
Oh, your brother from another mother.
Yeah,
oh,
yeah.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, I was like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, but I know
great.
him. He's a good dude.
I just started listening to y'all. Anybody really on? My dog started Twitter. Everybody said my dog needed a Twitter account. He won the popular vote in the world's ugliest dog contest, and he looks just like he has Donald Trump's hair. So we jumped in, and ever since then, I'm just enthralled by. I've learned so much just in the past maybe month.
Oh, wow.
But yeah, Lucas is one of the guys that I enjoy watching him. It's almost a innocent profoundness. You know, he says things that are like, oh my gosh, how did I not think of that? It's like, it's so easy to see, but I don't. And I feel the same way about so many of you guys I listen to. But yeah, she called it a tragic nightmare.
Yeah,
but
she did.
Killing thousands of Americans in just a few hours was something. Some people did something.
Right, exactly. That was a point that I saw. It's like, okay, she can, describe a certain thing in a certain way if she wants to, because some people were just trying to say, oh, well, she didn't really want to give the terrorists any kind of praise, so she didn't say their name.
Right.
It's not even about that. You can still, describe a certain thing with a certain kind of emotion. You are
Absolutely.
in America. You're an American. You were here when it happened, but you want to say some people did something. You're not from New Zealand. You were not in New Zealand when it happened, but you want to ascribe all this emotion to that particular event. It's pretty clear where your actual loyalties lie.
Right. Yeah. It didn't. People say don't take it out of context. Well, wait. No, this is part of her context. And the thing where AOC said that people aren't. They're taking the minute factual I can't remember all the things she said, but the conversation she had with Anderson Cooper, and she said that they're not talking about the moral part. And I thought, okay, so what she's saying is it's okay for people like Ilhan Omar to, I don't know, I just felt like there's so many ironies and hypocrisies. I don't know how I can't say the words as eloquent as you can, but it just seems so hypocritical to me. She's saying you need to be morally justified when you're saying something. Well, why doesn't Ilhan Omar? It creeped me out. I feel like there's just such a double standard. So the other thing I wanted to say is just kind of comment on my life. I grew up in a rural area in Idaho. We didn't have we were a bunch of white people mostly, and we had people who would come live in the summer from Mexico and work. And over the generations, families would stay in our little town and live with us. And I never, ever thought of anybody different. There was a kid in my first grade class named Lolo Guzman, and Lolo was my friend. I mean, I never thought of him any different. And one day in 7th or 8th grade, one of my friends said something about Lolo being Mexican, and I was like, what? He's not Mexican. He's American. Right. And they're like, well, yeah, he's American now, but his family's from Mexico. And I'm like, what? And I had no idea. And they're like, haven't you ever had his mom's weird food? And I was like, oh my gosh, I never thought about it. I just wasn't raised to think somebody's different because of where they're from or what they look like or if their grandparents can't speak English. And I honestly feel people say that gives me white privilege, but I feel like it's the opposite. I feel like growing up in a small rural town where there's not a lot of difference makes you feel it. I feel like it made me more accepting of people, because there's no reason to treat anybody any different. People work as hard as you do or they don't. They go to church like you do or they don't. They are nice or they're not. I mean, they're just human beings. And I've always felt that way. I've always felt like, I had a friend one day say she went to the mall with this friend, and she tells me her friend was black. And the whole entire conversation, I'm thinking, why did she tell me this friend was black? And at the end of the conversation, I said, why did you tell me that? And she goes, oh, I just thought you'd want to know. And I was like,
it doesn't really matter.
Why?
You're just all about the individual. That's the main thing.
And it was like a thing to her. Well, now I feel like for the past maybe, I don't know, since Trump's taken office probably, I have felt like when I meet people, if they're of a different race than I am, I wonder if they hate me. I wonder if they already have something against me. And I thought, oh my gosh, now am I becoming racist because I wonder if they hate me? I never ever gave it a second thought what race somebody was. And now because of all the hatred and the division in our country, I feel like that's making me think different. And I don't know. What do you think?
About what, like in particular? Because you had a lot right there, but give me something.
I feel like I've never ever had a second thought of if somebody's a different race than I am. And now I do. I find myself wondering when I meet somebody, do they hate me? And I never ever thought that before.
Well,
I thought,
shouldn't.
Hey,
I'm gonna jump in right quick. I gotta get to some more calls, but you shouldn't feel that way. I mean, you were raised to just judge individuals based on how they are. Now, if somebody has a feeling towards you because of your race, that you can't control that. That's them. That's not you. But I say always just go into it, just assuming the best. Assuming the best. If people prove to be different, then that's okay. But always assume the best. That's the way that it should be, because I think that most people you run into are generally going to be more kind than unkind.
I agree. I think we have more in common than we don't. Anybody ever, even somebody who's Muslim on the other side of the world. I think they have more in common with me than we don't have in common.
I agree with you 100%. But thank you for the call. Thank you for the call. Definitely appreciate it.
Thank you. Thanks for taking it. You have a great night.
All right, now, same to you.
Bye-bye.
Bye. All right, shout out to the caller, and shout out to everybody in the building. The number to call is 434-658-1220. The number is in the box below. Again, 434-658-1220. And I'm going to try to get to as many calls as I can. You guys just hang tight. 832, you're in the line. Who am I speaking to?
This is Jose Alvo. How you been?
Everything's been great. How about yourself?
Good. It's been a while.
It's been a little while. Glad you're able to get on the line.
Yeah, all right, because you know, a lot of crazy stuff happened from spring break of March of 2019 until now, because I heard about Donald Trump about sending all the migrants to the sanctuary cities, but Nancy Pelosi is against that.
Yeah, it seems kind of weird because, I mean, wouldn't Nancy Pelosi be for immigrants coming into the country, for migrants coming into the country? So why not have the migrants and immigrants she loves so much come to these sanctuary cities like where she is in San Francisco? I think it'd make sense.
Yeah, I know. And also Obama in Berlin, he's just repeating what Trump is saying. You heard about his speech, what he said in Berlin?
I did not hear that.
He said, Obama said something about, we cannot be racist when it comes to immigration. But also when we learned about the language, he said that he wants immigrants to learn English, but he said, we're not saying that we're gonna take away the language away from you, your native language away from you. That's what he said.
Oh wow, that's really really interesting.
Because it's like a little circle. Trump is repeating what Obama is saying. Obama is repeating what Trump is saying.
That's right.
Mhm. And also about heard about the shipment of I think opioids that it was going to regulate it from China.
Hold on, what happened now? Some opioids came from China. They're going to be regulated.
Yeah.
I'm not. I haven't heard anything about that. So is it like some medical stuff, illegal stuff? What's going on with that?
Yeah, because he said something about regulation from importation from China from opioids, but I just blame this more normally on the welfare state. People don't realize it's the welfare state that's causing all this nonsense. It's not China's fault. It's nobody's fault.
Oh, you mean sanctions?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, China is a big importer of drugs. They're a huge importer, and they also come through southern border as well. I think it was a show. It might have been on Fox, and they were on the border recording. And during the actual recording, matter of fact, this isn't when the whole thing with the vest, because one of the guys, I think his name was Lawrence Jones III, he had on this plate carrier, and people said it was a baby vest. It wasn't really real, this, that, and the third. But during that particular shoot, some Chinese nationals tried to cross the border during the actual shoot. So a lot of these guys that are crossing have drugs on them. So if China is allowing drugs to come in here and it could be state sponsored, then sanctions may make sense. But I think what you're saying is also correct. You're talking about the welfare state. You're talking about the state of the country that allows these drugs to proliferate. That needs to be addressed as well.
And also about the left and right political correctness. I heard they're saying conservatives are accusing liberals of doing political correctness and stuff, but the conservatives themselves are practicing it.
Oh, well, go a little bit deeper in that. How are the conservatives practicing political correctness?
Okay, I saw this video with Hope to Jesus and Brandon Tatum talking about that he wasn't allowed in that young Black Leadership Summit because of his optics.
Yeah, that's an old video, and that's really unfortunate because that was recorded without Brandon's permission. So, I think the right move was made in that situation, because if you're going to record somebody without asking them to, and you put them on a blast, and really it wasn't even Brandon's fault. I don't want to go down that road because that was kind of a long time ago. That was like, about 6 to 8 months ago. So I think the right move was made in that particular situation.
Oh, okay. And also Fox News, they're trying to like what happened with Judge Pirro. Also that too.
Oh yeah, that was kind of messed up. But hey, Fox News is a business. That's not even the political thing. That's all about money at the end of the day, because you got advertisers you got to please, and Fox News is owned by News Corp. That's Rupert Murdoch. That's a rich guy who also owns the New York Times. So when you look at it, New York Times is a super left organization, and Fox News is seen as super right. But really, what it all boils down to is money. So if Judge Janine says something and the advertisers are like, okay, we don't like that, we're going to start to pull ads. Fox News is like, okay, let's suspend you for a while to please the advertisers, but we're not going to totally fire you. That's a business decision. It's not personal at all or political, in my opinion.
Yeah, because look what happened to Tommy Lauren and Blaze. She got fired because of her abortion views.
Well, Glenn Beck is not even really a conservative all the way. Glenn Beck was never Trumper. Glenn Beck put Cheetos on his face, literally crushed up some Cheetos, some orange dust, and put it on his face when Trump was running. He hated Trump. So, you can't even really count him as somebody that's representative of the right, because he didn't even like Trump. So you don't have necessarily people that agree all the time within conservatives. That's the issue. And then with Tommy, she was wanting to leave the Blaze anyway. It was a sinking ship. At that particular point in time, they were kind of just going under. They were going bankrupt. Now they've been able to do some acquisitions and get more assets that way through getting CRTV. But that may also shrink or sink in the future as well. But that was also business. She sued them to get out of the contract, to get social media back, and then she went to a better place in Fox News. So I think it all worked out well for the best. But Glenn Beck is the cause of that particular situation, not really a left or right type of issue.
And also, heard about the New Zealand shooting. It was a while back because I was in Mexico at that time because I was on my spring break vacation in a cruise. I was eating, and then as soon as I saw your video about the New Zealand shooting, and I looked up at the guy who did the shooting, he was a Chinese communist.
Was he Chinese? I didn't even see him.
No, the white guy. He was loyal to communist China.
Hold on. He was a Chinese communist, but he was white?
No. White guy loyal to communist China. He's loyal.
Oh, he was loyal to... Okay, I see.
Yeah, because what the Chinese are doing with the Muslims, they're throwing them in camps and forcing them to drink alcohol and pork.
Okay, I see. I didn't even know all that. I didn't see that whole part of it.
Yeah, and also you know about Lady Frijoles?
Yeah, the lady that had the I saw the update on that.
Yeah, she got arrested in Dallas for assault.
Yeah, see, I mean,
Deadly weapon.
It's pretty clear that she should not have been in the country to begin with. And, you know, the complaining about the frijoles, all this, that, and the third, that should have been, I mean, if I was a border agent and I saw her complain about that, I'd be like, okay, mark her down for deportation immediately, right away, ASAP.
Yeah, it's because I think she's just doing it for attention. That's why she's doing all that crazy stuff. Because the first time she drew a lot of attention, and then now the second time she pulled out something that got her in trouble.
That's right.
Yeah, all right, Bill. Nice talking to you.
All right, thank you for the call. Definitely appreciate you.
Yes, sir. Have a good day.
All right, same to you.
Bye-bye.
All right, shout out to Jose Alba for the call. Most certainly appreciate him. And thank you to the super chatters. Thank you to everybody in the building. We got about 500 or so in the building. If you're just now coming in, please give me a thumbs up on the video. Right beneath it, it should be a thumbs up button. Click that. And if you're new to the channel, please subscribe. There should be a red button beneath me. Make that red button gray and click on the bell right beside it. There's a little bell right there. Put the little thingies on the side so you know it's activated. And maybe it'll work. You should get notified whenever I go live or post a new video. Sometimes it does work, sometimes it doesn't, but who knows? Just try it out, see if it works out. Let me know what's going on with that. Thank you to High Lonesome Hillbilly, who says Ilhan Omar was dog whistling to a racist Islamist. That's what it seems like to me, boss. I'm right there with you. And shout out to He Ma'am, who says the reason Democrats are throwing hissy fits over Trump wanting to drop off illegal immigrants to the sanctuary cities is those states are already blue. They truly want them to inhabit the red states to change the demographic. That is 300 IQ thinking right there, boss, 100%. Because that's the whole point. They're trying to get votes. So if they can put them in the red states, they could put them in Texas, or they could put them in maybe even Florida or something like that to change the culture. And maybe the ultimate goal is to get them naturalized, get amnesty, and then have them go out there and vote. And who they're going to vote for. If the Democrats were the main ones trying to get them in the country, having all these sanctuary laws and asylum laws, they're going to be the main ones that are voted for by these people that come into these red states. So that was that 3,000 IQ stuff right there, boss. So let me get to my next call. And thank you to all the new callers. I definitely appreciate you. 757, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
No shit, dude. ABL, what's up? Are we live already or not?
What happened?
Are we live already or not? I have laryngitis, so you're going to have to bear with me.
Oh, we live, boss. What's going on?
Right on, dude. Dude, I've been watching you since you had the VA flag flying high, dude.
Yes, indeed.
I loved it, man. All right, so what are we talking about today? I mean, let's get real quick. It's cool, too, because I'm white and you're black, so we can have a little bit of fun with that, too, if you want. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying, though? Everybody wants to talk about this and that. You know what it comes down to, in my opinion, bro? There's no racist in a foxhole. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
That's right. So where are we at right now? AOC and the Democrats and shit, or what are we talking about?
Hey, boss, but I can't. No cursing, please.
Oh yeah. I apologize. Excuse me, YouTube. Excuse me, Google and Doug Dorsey.
Because they will be on my high parts.
Yeah. Absolutely, yes, sir. We'll keep it respectful. Thank you. Yep, I apologize.
No doubt.
So here we are. We're in VA. We're free men and women. You know what I mean? We can open carry. We can grow whatever we want to grow. You know, we're supposed to be living in this world where, what is the world supposed to be? Everybody feels like something's wrong with the world, I think, right? Like when you wake up in the morning, something's not quite right. You know what I'm saying? Something like I'm not trying to matrix out on you. I'm just trying to say, like, shit ain't the way it could be, you know?
Hey, some people think that the world ain't the way it's supposed to be. I agree with that.
Right. So, like, when you meet somebody and they want to tell you about, I'm going to teach you, ABL, how to be an electrician, right? Instead of just showing you how to, like, plug in how to do all the little ins and outs of what we got to do and all the trades that are going to build buildings together, like, instead of showing you how to build the pyramids where we're all the same, I'm going to make it so you only know how to do one thing, which is dig a hole in the ground. You know? You're going to dig a hole in the ground 8 hours a day. I'm going to be the guy who's going to be writing on the wall these little triangles and geometry and shit. And
boss, my man, the cussing.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, my bad. I'm sorry, dude. I'm so excited to be talking to you. This is my first time ever calling into a show, a live chat, and you're the guy I wanted to talk to, buddy. Sorry about that. I apologize.
It's all good, man. But at least you in Virginia, right? Are you in like Hampton Roads, Seven Cities area?
So I was born and raised in the swamps of Virginia. So I was born in Portsmouth, and then I moved to Virginia Beach, and then I moved to Norfolk, and kind of spent time around there. Then I joined the military, went up to Nova, got stationed and did my DOD, and now I'm in Western Michigan, in Grand Rapids, where weed is legal. Marijuana is legalized. You can grow 12 plants if you're a free man over the age of 18, 21. It's a different whole world, dude. It's finally a little bit of freedom, I guess you would call it. You feel a little bit different than you do in Virginia. Now, in Virginia, we got up in carrying a little bit. I was at Carmex one time. The only Virginia should you speak. Sorry.
Okay, Carlos. So were you born in like Maryview or the medical or
the Portsmouth VA Hospital?
Oh, the VA. Okay. Yes, I used to live in Portsmouth too. I stayed right across the street from Maryview at one point. I lived downtown, so yeah, I'm a Portsmouth.
I painted all those houses. I was born in 1988.
Okay, yeah. I probably.
What year were you born?
84.
So you're 34 years old. Okay, cool.
That's right.
Right on, man. I was trying to join the war. I wanted to join the war in Iraq. I wanted to go. I wanted to get out of my dad's house. I understood that I needed a good war, dude. I mean, I was a stupid kid doing dumb things, right?
No doubt.
And I tried to join, but they DQ'd me for asthma first, and then they DQ'd me for having a DUI when I was 15, a DWI, because I blew a .02. And in Virginia, the law is it's not .08. If you're a minor, you can't blow over .02, which is a shot of Listerine, I mean, that's
right.
Nothing.
Exactly. It ain't too much.
So when they really...
Go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead, boss. Like, you got to give me like 20 seconds, wrap it up. I got to go to a few more calls here.
All right. Yeah, I know. Thank you so much for the time. I wanted to just say, ABL, keep it up. Put the Virginia flag back in the background. And I watch you every time you release something. I get a notification, and I love you, brother.
Thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
And you already know, dude. You already know. You're from my town, dude.
That's right. All day.
You already know. All right, buddy. 2 up, 2 down.
2 up, 2 down. VA. All right.
That's right. VA. All right. Thanks, ABL.
All right. Peace.
Later.
All right. Shout out to the caller from Portsmouth, my hometown, one of my hometowns. All right. Okay. Thank you to everybody that's called in. I really appreciate you guys. Thank you to Matt Ben for the donation. Thank you to Heather W, who says, we appreciate you and your channel. Thank you for your very kind words and your donation. Greatly appreciate it. The number to call is 434-658-1220. If you want to get in through Skype, there's an email for that in the description box below the video. Shout out to everybody in the building. I appreciate you all. Okay. Thank you to all the new callers tonight. I'm going to try to get you on. 404, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hello. Hey, Anthony, how you doing?
I'm okay. How are you?
I'm good, Anthony. I got me a new Obama phone, Anthony.
That's great. That's good to hear. Fantastic.
I thought you was trying to ignore me, Anthony. So I got me a new phone just to talk to Anthony.
Hey, I'm just answering calls. I don't know what's going on. But what's happening? What's on your mind?
Well, Anthony, did you miss me? You missed me for 2 shows, Anthony.
No, I'm good. I'm actually been okay. The calls have been coming in. It's been a great show, so I'm all right. But hey, I take all the calls. So what's happening?
Well, I ain't want to call when the good doctor was talking to you, Anthony, because I ain't want to make you feel mad at me, Anthony.
The good doctor? Okay.
You know Dr. Shiver, Anthony.
Yeah, that wasn't a call-in show, so you were straight on that one.
Well, I had some words for him too, anywho. And Jesse, they suing him. Why they doing that, Anthony?
You're talking about Jussie Smollett in Chicago, the Chicago police suing them?
Yes, Anthony. Why they do him like that?
Because they sent them on the wild goose chase, spend up police resources for nothing, lied. Everybody know we lied. The lawyer knows he lied.
Lied.
Yes, he did, because nobody did anything to him. Where's the white guys with the MAGA hats? Have they been able to find them, or was it them big Nigerian dudes with the fake MAGA hats on that he hired?
Anthony, you know them white men is called. They had hired them Nigerian men to come and beat Jesse up. You know what they did, Anthony.
They did no such thing. They did that because they got paid. It was a scam. It was a scheme. He lied. So pay that money back. $134,000. Pay up ASAP. We don't got no time for the games.
Well, Anthony, they ain't getting no money. And what this is about some reparations, Anthony?
What about it?
You don't want your reparations, Anthony?
I mean, I'm straight. I don't think that it makes any sense for me to be paying my own reparations. And it's been a long time ago. We got to move past all that stuff and go forward into the future.
Well, can I have your reparations, Anthony?
Ain't gonna be no reparations. So whatever you get, that's fine. But I bet you won't get it from me. You won't get it from the American taxpayer.
Well, man, we'll get what I want. We get whatever we want, anywho. And your friend Candace Owen, she was on there talking to the congressman. How she gonna talk to them like that?
Hey, she had to do what she had to do. She went in front of Congress and spoke very well. I'm proud of her. She did excellent. And we're going to have more of that as the years progress.
No, you ain't. You ain't going there and talk to the congressmen like that, Anthony. I almost think y'all crazy.
Why? Because we speaking the truth? What's wrong with speaking the truth?
What truth are you speaking, Anthony? The only truth was being spoke was the Al Sharpton's National Action Network when he had all the Democrats telling the truth about what they were going to do about our reparations, Anthony.
So you believe that? You think that they're going to actually be able to come through reparations?
Well, they all lined up like they were just going to do what they said they were going to do, so they better do it, Anthony.
It's an empty campaign promise. They ain't going to do nothing. They get on stage and tell you anything. They tell you that they can bring you to sun, moon, and stars if you believe it.
Well, man, I'm going to get my reparations. And this border wall, Trump going down there to look at the wall, Anthony. Why he want to build a wall? Why he want to stop this mess, Anthony?
You got to get them illegal aliens out of here. Get them drugs, guns, all that stuff out of here that should not be here. So we got to get that wall built ASAP. Matter of fact, we already built on the wall right now, and you can't stop it.
Anthony, you can't stop nobody from bringing no drugs, no guns, Anthony.
I bet you we will. If you're trying to come across that border and that big wall in front of your face, what you going to do about that? It ain't too much you can do.
You keep wishing, Anthony. We still gonna be smoking our weed and having our guns. Bang, bang. Anywho. And you on that man O'Shea show. I saw you on there again talking to him.
Yeah, shout out to O'Shea. That's my brother.
I don't like him, man.
Why you don't like him?
I just don't.
Hey, I can't do nothing about that. You gotta talk to him about that.
But you know what I did, Anthony. I went to Piedmont Park, and I still ain't seen no other statues of no Confederate men, Anthony.
Hey, that's fine. If you can't find it, then hey, it doesn't even really matter. It ain't gonna do nothing to you anyway. It's nothing but a statue.
Me and my boyfriend, we walked all around the park, and I only seen one. And I just had me some Polish sausages while I was in Piedmont Park looking at his statue. But anyhow, Anthony, you know what I want to see, Anthony. I'm still waiting on you to have your show, Anthony.
Hey, we going to do all that as soon as everybody gets some time. We're going to get together and have our show for sure. So don't even worry about that. And as soon as we get it ready, I'll let everybody know, and you could be front row center on your screen.
You know I am, Anthony. You gonna have my favorite person on there, Anthony?
I don't know who that is.
You know who I'm talking about, Anthony. Don't say his name, Anthony.
I refuse.
You ain't talking to me in 2 weeks, Anthony. Don't say his name, Anthony.
I think I'll pass on that. You can say the person's name if you like.
Say his name, Anthony.
No, thank you, sir.
It's amazing, Lucas. Oh, Anthony, I just don't know what to do. Oh. But anywho, Anthony.
All right.
You know I got to go. It's Saturday, and I'm finna go out here and help make Atlanta gay again, Anthony.
All right. You have fun. Enjoy yourself now.
Hey, Anthony, you tell your friend Kevin from Kevin's Corner with that nice shiny
all right. Okay,
hair.
I got you. I'm gonna tell him. I'm gonna tell him what's up. But I got more calls on the line, so I got you.
Oh,
hey,
I want to get in that car.
all right. Hey, I got you. But we gotta get some more calls. Thank you for calling.
Okay, Anthony. Bye, Anthony.
All right, now take care. All right. Hey, why me? Why do I always get the crazy calls? But no, that's a normal troll call. You know. So, okay, let's get to the next call. 707. You don't know who I'm speaking to.
Oh my goodness, I got through.
Yes, you did get through.
All right, this is good stuff, man. This is Flip. My name is Feshnal Flip. I'm calling from the Bay Area out in California.
Okay. All right. What's going on?
Hey, yeah, man. I've been up on your show for about 2 months now. You know what I'm saying? I've been watching you and everything. I didn't know you had a call-in show, but but I figure I'd give you a call. I like your content. I like your point of view on some things. You know what I'm saying? And I'm supporting you, man. I'm calling in to support the show and everything, and I dig it. I don't know what in the world was up with the last caller. I think that was a troll or something, or that's drunk. I don't know.
It's a normal troll call that calls in.
Really?
It's like a repeat troll call. Now I'm thinking that it's somebody that I know that's disguising their voice, but I've not been able to figure out who it is.
Oh, okay. I'm just trying to figure out like why you kept her on the line for so long, but it's okay, man. It's so.
Hey, you know,
but oh my goodness, that was rough.
Hey, people enjoy it, so it's whatever.
Yeah, I feel you, man. I feel you. Hey, man, I just wanted to, just say a few things. You know what I'm saying? As far as I wanted to get your perspective. Well, now I got an ice cream truck, of course. When I get through, ice cream truck wants to go. I wanted to get your perspective on a point that I've been having with a few of my colleagues, as far as like being an American and what it means, okay, and if it's a race or an ethnicity, okay, and or a nationality. You know what I mean? I think that's it was a very intriguing point that came up in the course of one of our conversations that I had with my colleagues, believe it or not, on a call. And I wanted to get your feedback on that and what you thought about that. You know what I mean? I think that's very important for us as Americans to decipher. I'm thinking more of an ethnicity. Race is, maybe heritage, color, that's language, that sort of thing. But what does it mean to be an American? You know what I mean? For instance, myself, okay, I used to be really a militant, if you will, pro-black, fist in the air, Malcolm X, type of individual growing up, okay? Mm-hmm. That victim mentality. And as I got older and, pulling myself up by my bootstraps, never, got any type of government assistance or anything, was lucky enough not to follow in the path of, my cousins, my no good cousins, and the folks I was hanging out with that's still in prison today. I ended up going into the military, okay? And I, my best friend, ended up being, this white guy that looks like your average Harley Davidson, long beard type of person. Never thought that I could relate to him. And, to this day, we've been best friends for, the past 20 years, you know what I'm saying? And one thing that we have in common, although we're from two different backgrounds, I'm talking about, complete 180 backgrounds. One thing we have in common is our Americanism, us being Americans, and so, I'm trying to figure out, okay, what exactly does it mean to be an American? For instance, I hear Ilhan Omar and Talib and these new freshmen in Congress, you know what I'm saying? They're up in there and they're Muslims. I don't want to speak bad on Islam or Muslim religion or anything, but can I really classify them as being Americans if they really don't believe in what America stands for? What does it mean to be an American?
So is your question, I'm going to cut you off, caller, but is your question like, what does it mean to be an American?
Yeah. I just wanted to get your feedback on that. You know what I'm saying?
I'm going to go ahead. I don't mean that.
But thanks so much, man.
Okay. I'll thank you for the call.
Yeah, thank you, man. And keep it up, okay? Keep it up. You're doing a good job, brother, and I'll continue to support you.
All right, now I appreciate it.
All right, take it easy.
Shout out to the caller. I wasn't trying to get him off the phone. I was just trying to answer the question. An American, in my eyes, is all about freedom and rugged individuality, but the individuality is for the betterment of the collective. Not behaving as a tribe, but behaving as an individual that's an American. And you can relate to other people who are American that are also individuals. In different countries, sometimes your path is already set for you. You cannot behave as an individual because that's not in the cards for you. You have to do certain things that is already. But in America, you can be anybody from anywhere and become an American. You can't really go to China as me and become Chinese. You're just an American or somebody else coming into China visiting. But you can come to America, become a citizen, and you're an American. That's how that works. It's not a race thing, a gender thing, or nothing. A class, money. It's all about you coming to America, believing in protecting the country, and rugged individualism and freedom. That's what it means to me. Now, I could really get in depth and write a book even on it, but just on a surface level, that's what it means to me. So thank you for the call, and hopefully they answered your question. But let me get to my next call here. Kerplunk, what's happening?
What's going on? Hold on a second. I'm on here. Let me get to a audio safe space here. Oh, all right. Can you see me?
Yep.
All right. I'm outside. I heard. I listened to playback last time. I had a little bit of audio problems. I did not know these things were so sensitive. They were picking up noises from the other end of the universe.
Yeah, they will sometimes, especially the newer phones. I mean, they're really good, but at the same time, they're kind of bad because they pick up everything that you don't want.
Yeah. So, I had no idea that I was picking up the transmissions from the black hole. So I apologize for that. Anyways, let me get. I'm trying. I followed that one guy. He was so high energy and high testosterone. I think Trump ought to hire him. That one guy. About 15 minutes ago.
Who was that?
Oh, I can't remember his because I got to go in and out. Now, you think that music was driving you nuts? I've been listening to it for an hour.
I hear you.
So, all right, we got this Ilhan Omar lady talking about here. First off, let me start off by saying I've been in these other little chat rooms and stuff. As you can see, I have clothes on today. I was on. You said you don't really pay attention that much to TYT or Jimmy Dore or any of those other lefty kind of things. But I do go down. I go down in the comment section and I see what they're saying. They're calling Julian Assange a hero. You know, he's a hero. He's an inspiration. Everybody should be like him. You know, and I have to say, they're like overusing that word. Words that are overused like that, they tend to lose their meaning. You know. Julian, I don't see him as much as a hero or an icon like that, because if he's a hero, that means I'm a hero and you're a hero, and if everybody's a hero, then it just kind of like wears it out. It's like that same thing. It goes in reverse for that Jussie Smollett guy. If he's a victim and everybody's a victim, then the actual victims don't really, you know what I'm saying? You hear what I'm going with that?
Nah, yeah, I understand what you mean. It's like the word shouldn't really be used so much like that. You know, use it for people that really deserve it, because once it gets overused, it has no more meaning.
Yeah, it's just like when they were calling the president a narcissist and a xenophobe and all that. Eventually, it wears itself out and it burns itself out. Nobody even knows what it means anymore.
Yeah.
So, okay. So, and then we got the Ilhan Omar. She says, I was down in the comment section on Jimmy Dore's show there, and I don't want to promote it, but he's actually coming. He's like, he does sort of tell the truth. You're like the version of Jimmy Dore on the right side, and I have said that in his comment section. So you guys got to check out ABL. If you guys think this guy's telling the truth, you got to see this guy. So I've been plugging you over there on his show, but in his comment section, just a little bit, you know. So we might have some lefties in here that want the truth.
Hey, it's all good. It doesn't matter where you come from, as long as you want the truth. Then you're all welcome.
Amen. And we got to start bridging the gap there, because it's getting ugly. This Ilhan Omar, she says something along the lines of, and they're not touching that. They're not touching what she said. No, they're just like going around it, dancing around it. To the leftist media, they will not touch that with a 10-foot pole.
They don't want that.
Yeah, because we're, you know, the older ones of us were alive back then. We remember that, and it was a horrible day. And she said some people did things, and we got our side is in Jimmy Dore's comment section, and they're saying stuff like, she said she had death threats or something like that. AOC, come on. Oh, well, they're giving her death threats. One, I think it's a false flag. That's my first point of order. And two, anybody could call up and say, I'm from MAGA country, and we're gonna do bad things.
That's right. And then it's like, okay, where's the evidence of that? Do you have anybody? Like anybody could say anything. It could. It's like what you said. It could be the whole MAGA country thing all over again. Random people calling in that don't even like Trump, that hate the right, that just want to make the right look bad.
Yeah. So that being said, and then we had the our side has our little version of trolls too. You know, to say, well, maybe it was just somebody that said something.
There you go. Exactly.
I caught a little glimmer off of that. Let me see. My trusty chalkboard is over here. It got so dark, I can't even see nothing. Let's see here. What we got? Mike Knowles. He got some stuff sprayed on him. He now what they did was they leapfrogged it. They turned around and they got him national press, because he was just doing this little speech. And what they did is they put him on Fox News telling the same speech.
That's right. So basically, they just amplified the message.
Yeah, so I'm not saying we can welcome that, but that definitely backfired. They're trying to get him to get out of there. Not only did he give us the rest of his presentation without cause, but he got a standing ovation, and he got to go on Fox News and tell his story all over again. The whole country got to see it instead of just a little university. So that worked out in his favor. Sanctuary cities. We got that was funny. You got a whole bunch of people crying and complaining over this. Alyssa Milano spoke up about that. Says, "How dare you, President? That was weird." She tweeted out. It was this has got really twisted, and the caption underneath it was that President Trump is using this to attack his political foes.
Yeah, it shouldn't be an attack, because if they love the immigrants so much, they should welcome them into their sanctuary cities. That's what a sanctuary city is. Last time I checked, so it should be the perfect place for them to go.
They keep on stepping on the same banana peel, and it gets funnier every time. And so that the truthiness matters. There's the death threat of Mike Knowles. Julian Assange. Julian Assange. Let's see here. He was wanted for some kind of sexual assault, I guess.
In Sweden, allegedly. But I think that the charges got dropped because they couldn't serve him because he was in the Ecuadorian Consulate hiding out.
From what I heard, those were overinflated charges. What had happened was he had consensual sex with the lady and gave her some kind of STD, apparently. But that could have been a smear too. We don't know yet. So,
but see, the thing about it is Sweden. I think they might actually bring the charges back up, because the only reason why they got dropped is because they couldn't serve him. But now that he's out of the consulate, they can serve him again. So, or they can do it for the first time, because they were never able to get to it the first time. But we'll see once time progresses a little bit what they do with that.
All right, that's all I got for now. I'm glad you took me in there. Glad to see you're expanding. You're blowing up, brother, and it's good to see because this is the kind of thing that this needs to happen. This kind of thing needs to happen. I'm gonna be starting my own little channel here soon, but it's not going to be related at all. It's going to be an educational one. I'm gonna be starting beekeeping and stuff like that. But that's here nor there. It's just a hobby of mine, and maybe I'll come down there and visit you and start a bee farm on your house and your property there.
Nah, I don't think that probably won't go over too well with the lady or the neighbors. So that wouldn't go too well. But thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
You live at a school bus stop. That would be perfect.
Thank you for the call, baby.
All right, man. You have a good one. Peace. Make sure everybody you smash on that like button and share this up on public. The media's over there.
No doubt, man. Appreciate you.
Facebooks and the Twitters.
All righty.
All right, much love. Peace.
All right, thank you to Kurt Plump for the call. Most certainly appreciate him. And shout out to everybody in the building. We still got 428 live on deck. No killer bees will be permitted. If you bring killer bees to my house, you will get shot on sight. No threat. Just joking, because I don't want nobody to call the police. But let's see. Super chats. Am I caught up? Let me see. Thank you to Heather W, who says, appreciate you and your channel. Thank you for the very kind words in your donation. Greg Don says, thanks, brother. No problem. Omar Adams says, last night for Skittles, hashtag hang up. That was for a statement earlier from Atlanta. And thank you to Aztec Warrior for your donations. Definitely appreciate you. And the number to call for you guys in the chat is 434-658-1220. Let me get to my next call here. Okay, let's go. 416 on the line. Who am I speaking to?
It's the Cigar Box. How are you doing?
Everything's great, man. How about yourself?
Well, pretty cool, man. I was just thinking, can you imagine if Trump would have said, some people did some nasty things down there in New Zealand?
It would be like people would say you got to impeach him right now. He's disgusting. This is the worst thing he's ever said. It would have been the worst thing. It would have been like he basically started smoking crack in the White House. It would have been worse than that.
I know, that's what I was thinking. It's pretty disgusting. I like the little old debate that you had there, because I was sitting there, and as she was giving off her points for the reparations for all these people that got it, I was thinking they got it immediately, and then you said it, and I went, "Oh, good."
Yeah, I mean that was. I mean, you know, I like to bring common sense to these discussions, because I keep hearing people talking about all these fanciful things, all these things that don't make no sense. It's like, let's just bring some logic, and that's all I wanted to bring. So I'm glad you were able to pick up on that, how basic logic was used there.
Well, it doesn't necessarily mean it's anything positive either, because after the First World War was over, they enforced reparations on Germany for the rest of the world to a point where they would never be able to pay them off. And all that did was you ended up with a place with hyperinflation. People were guaranteed to never be able to get anywhere in their life. So it was very easy for a guy to come along and say, hey, they said we can't have an army. I'll build you an army. I'll give you jobs. I'm just going to tell them to take the reparations and shove it. But you got to elect me. Pretty easy to get in power when stuff like that happens.
That's right.
And, you know, I think it was Dave Chappelle did a skit about the reparations, and it seemed probably pretty logical, because I think everybody would be like this. It's like these people who win lotteries, and, you know, a year later they got nothing.
Yeah, of course, that's what it would be. And the thing about it is, if we want to be real and just get down to the nitty gritty, we already have reparations right now. You got all kind of programs that exist, all kind of special racial set-asides, all kind of grants and loans and this and that don't help. And the point I made was that at the very end of the debate, I was saying that the welfare state, all these government programs have ruined us. So one more government check will not fix it. It's going to make it worse, if anything.
Yeah, I think you're right there. And also, that guy made a point about what's an American, and to me, it's somebody. To me, and I'm Canadian. I think it's somebody who comes to the country because these are relatively new countries and wants to be a part of the country and does not want to enforce where they came from on the country and work together with everybody there for the betterment of the country. I don't see that with somebody like Omar. You know. Also, I don't think that anybody who was born outside of the country should hold office. Doesn't matter what country it is. Like, I don't think I should be able to go down to the States and hold office. You know, even though my heart might be in the right place, I'm still going to have this background. It's going to be poisoned.
Yeah, that's kind of hard though, because you got a lot of guys. You got Dr. Shiva, who was on the show the other day that I did an interview with. He was actually born in India, but he came here when he was a young child, like 7. So he grew up here, and he's a brilliant person. If he could be the president, I'd love to have him. But you have some people that were born in other countries that have more love for this country than people who came from a different place. You have people that come to this country sometimes have more love for America than those who were born here. You got a lot of native-born Americans that family were here since the 1500s or whenever they came that hate America. So it's just one of those things. But to be the president, I think you're correct. That should be a special position. But for just your regular positions in a particular community, I think it should be about the best person for the job.
Okay. It's just I see an awful lot of people around here. I'm in about the most diverse city in Canada. And so we have a lot of people from other countries running for office, and I see a lot of them pushing their own particular agenda.
Yeah.
And so that's the thing and it's an out-of-country sort of agenda.
Honestly, that makes sense, yeah. Like, people like that, they shouldn't be allowed into office. I mean, people like that should be able to be seen. Like, if they're running on stuff like that, then that's a whole different thing. Just like, Ilhan Omar. Obviously, a loyalty to a whole different thing other than the United States. So, yeah, a person like that shouldn't be voted for. But unfortunately, where she is like an enclave of people that are just like her. When she went to this rally, it was like no English being spoken. They're speaking in Arabic or whatever it is. In America, at a political rally, they're speaking in Arabic or something like that. Because why speak in English? There's no need. Everybody speaks that particular language they're speaking.
Yeah, there's another guy doing that. He's running in Minnesota, or he just got elected, and I think he was up there giving his speeches all in whatever the heck, wherever they're from, Somalian or something. He's speaking that in, and they should have a rule. You're speaking English over here, and that's it.
100%.
Anyhow, I'm going to let you go. I've been on a little too long, and thank you very much.
Thank you for the call. Definitely appreciate you.
Thank you.
All right, thank you to Cigar Box for the call. Most certainly appreciate him. And shout out to everybody in the building. You guys know the drill. The number to call is 434-658-1220. If you want to call in through Skype, there is an email for that in the description box below. But the phone lines are jumping. I'm going to try to get you all on as soon as I can. But let me get to my next call. All righty, Sweet Speaks. What's going on? I cannot hear you, Sweet.
Finally getting spring over in Eastern Europe.
Oh, I hear you now. What's going on, Sweet?
Oh, we're finally getting spring over here. How about you?
Oh, it's kind of the same here. We're getting the pollen and all that kind of stuff falling from the ground. So, I mean, falling from the sky to the ground. So, people getting allergies and whatnot. But I don't have allergies, so I'm all good. But yeah, it's getting nice and warm.
Yeah, that's good. So, should we talk about Candace Owens?
Let's talk about her.
I saw her. Well, her response to this Democrat congressman from California, I think, and he was just making a fool out of himself.
Yeah, he was. It was pretty embarrassing for him, to say the least. But hey, that's what they want to do. If they want to make a fool out of themselves on television, then go for it. I'm all for it. It makes us look better. And you know, it was great that he did that because that particular video was the most viewed C-SPAN video ever of all time.
Wow, I didn't know that, but that's great. Because,
Yes.
I mean, trying to paint her as a Hitler supporter, well, sure, if she would have been one, I would be the first one to condemn her, but they just took it all out of context and they didn't listen to what she actually said.
Of course not. And I could tell they didn't know what she said because the guy, Ted Lieu, had the video on his phone. So that probably tells me that he was given the video by some intern or something of his that did not see the full thing. Because if they had a proper setup and a proper presentation, they probably would have had the video on the big screen with some graphics and whatnot to go with it rather than on his phone playing it at the microphone to just play the audio only. That was pretty tacky and just really not well thought out.
Yeah, so that was just great to watch. So, hey, you know what? I hope she runs for Congress one day.
Oh yeah, she's got to do it. I mean, and soon for sure.
She would be a great counterweight towards, well, all these crazy young people who've been going to Congress recently, like Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, Ilhan Omar, and what's her name, Rashida. I don't know how to pronounce that one.
Yeah. But absolutely, because those people, and then when you hear them talk, it's even worse. Like their positions are crazy, but when they speak on television, it's a mess. Rashida Tlaib was trying to defend Ilhan Omar for her comments, and she was a bumbling, stumbling mess.
Yeah. So over in Europe, there's an election in Finland tomorrow for members of parliament.
Okay. So, I mean, how's that going to go? You have any predictions?
Well, it looks like the Finns party, which is kind of right-wing populists or whatever you want to call it, it looks like they are going to grow. Like they had 8% in the polls in November. Now they poll at 16%.
Okay. Interesting.
And it's not just about immigration now, because they've also taken up the glove to fight climate hysteria. And they say that, well, if you're going to raise taxes and all of this stuff because of supposed man-made global warming or climate change or whatever you call it this decade, the only thing that happens is that food is going to be more expensive for ordinary people in Finland. And then one of their politicians said, and if we let these people carry on with their stupidity, they're going to try to turn your cats and dogs vegan too, by the way.
Hey, that's a very good point. Absolutely great. And you know, people are doing that. They're trying to like make their cats and dogs be vegan. It's like, come on, we're talking about animals here, not human beings that can pretty much pick and choose what you want. You're talking about animals. Like if you just allow them to be out in the wild, they would not be going to cafes to get smoothies with green super drinks. They're going to go out there and kill small rodents and eat those and pretty much be happy. That's how that works.
Yeah. So I heard earlier tonight, I haven't been able to check the story yet, but I was told that Tommy Robinson is actually thinking about running for the European Parliament for UKIP.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's what rumor told me. So, well, take it with a grain of salt. I haven't had time to check the story yet.
Well, hey, I mean, I say all luck in the world. Hopefully, he is able to achieve that. He definitely deserves to be in some kind of office over there. I mean, for sure. He's a polarizing figure. He's a smart guy. He definitely deserves that for sure. He shouldn't just be constantly censored all the time.
Right. And because, you know, to me, it looks like they're just trying to not have the Brexit at all. So I guess the only hope for Britain right now, I mean, peacefully, is if they got Brexiteers elected both in the British Parliament and in the EU Parliament, because, well, in that case, they can actually push for something happening.
Well, that's right. Yes.
So, yeah. Because the way it looks right now, it looks like they're just trying to avoid having a Brexit at all. So, I mean, the parliament is divided sort of between three groups. You have the people who just don't want to leave at all. You have the people who want to leave with a bad deal. And you have the people who want a hard Brexit and they can't agree on anything.
Yeah, it's pretty unfortunate for them. People that want to leave, people that voted to leave. It's just a constant delay. And hopefully they get past the delays and make some kind of action happen, whether they're going to try to reverse it or whatever. Hopefully they don't reverse it, obviously, but you can't just keep kicking down the road and trying to delay it. Make a decision and stick to it.
Right. If I was Prime Minister of Britain, I would say that we're leaving now. We're not giving you a single pence. Have you forgotten about how we saved Europe back in World War II? By the way, maybe you should pay us instead.
That's right. 100% correct.
Yeah. So that's pretty much all that's going on right now.
Well, thank you for the call as always, Swede. Tell everybody how they get in contact with you, what your website is, and all that good stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. You can go to https://swedespeaks.com.
All righty. So I'll put that link in the chat, and thank you for joining as always, man. Definitely appreciate you.
Well, thanks a lot for having me.
All right.
And have a great night.
All right, same to you.
Yeah, bye.
All right, thank you to Sweet Speaks for the call. Most certainly appreciate him as always. Fantastic guy. If you're not subscribed to Sweet Speaks, I'm not really sure what you're doing. Go ahead and go to their website. That's right here, right over my shoulder in the chat, and also right in front of you in the chat box. And let me see. Let me get to another call here. Thank y'all for waiting. If you've been on the line for a while, I'm going to try to get to you as soon as I can. 248 on the line. Who am I speaking to?
This is Kim.
All righty. What's going on?
Hi there. Long-time listener, and just wanted to call in and express my disappointment with Candace Owens earlier this week. Caught her on the hearing, and I felt myself feeling very badly for Democrats.
Okay, so what happened? You say you're feeling. So you saying you're feeling bad for the Democrats because of what she did?
Yes.
Okay.
That Nadler and Lou, my heart really went out to them. I felt like they were being victimized, and they really didn't have an appropriate response. So.
Yeah, and that was hilarious to see. Not only Nadler's face, but also Lou's. When Candace called him out, Ted Lou, that is, for playing the video out of context, not having any kind of real facts behind it. It was like he was powerless. He was like a little boy who just got his ball taken away, and the bully didn't give it back. That was hilarious. So, and then
there was definitely a look of fear in his eyes.
It was fear because he knows he can't really say too much to her because you're in a weird situation. The Democrats have put black people into this victimhood box. So if you say anything against her, you try to attack her, really, you try to go back and forth, you're going to lose because you have been part of this culture that's made that be inappropriate. And the same thing with Gerald Nadler. When he wanted to try to say that she called Ted Lou stupid, and she was like, no, I didn't say that. And matter of fact, I think I heard somebody else that was close to Nadler say that she didn't say it. So at that point, he was pretty much defeated. It was like, oh, I lost that one. And he couldn't really show it on his face. So he had to just pretty much shrug and be like, well, you got me.
Yeah, she's definitely a threat to them for sure. That I don't know if you were looking at the body language and the faces of the people sitting next to and around her. It was just sour grapes.
Oh, the one lady sitting next to her was really uncomfortable.
Yes.
It was like she was trying to avoid the camera. It was like, wow, she's super uncomfortable. But hey, this is what you're going to have, and you're going to see much more of that in the weeks, months, and years to come, because you got a lot of people that are coming out in the Republican Party, or people that are conservative, former Democrats, people of quote unquote color. They're going to torch the left, because the left they're starting to lose grip, and they know that. They're starting to fracture within their own party. You got your radical AOC types, and then you got your establishment types, and then you got your middle of the road types. There's no real unity there. And those that are going to get them are the same people that they try to protect, who they can't really try to attack now, because then they're going to lose more ground. It's going to be fun to see.
Yep. No, it's going to be a great year. They're going to definitely continue eating each other, and it's going to be amazing.
Oh, absolutely. 100%.
All right. Well, I know you have other callers. Thank you so much.
Thank you for the call. Definitely appreciate you.
All right. Bye-bye.
All right. Shout out to the caller. Great call. And shout out to Candace Owens. Always does a great job. You're going to see more of that. You're going to see more of all of us going to these hearings, having these meetings, being at the White House. A lot of my guys have been to the White House time and time again. Hey, Joseph Wilson has to go. I'm gonna go ahead and just block him right now. I don't I'm not going to block you because you have a different point of view. But when you keep saying the same thing over and over again, at that point you're just spamming. So if you're doing that, then I'm gonna go ahead and block you. But if you want to call in and have a discussion about whatever you're feeling, talk about your feelings on the inside, and you want to lay on the proverbial couch to do so, you can do so. But if you're in the chat trolling, then I'm going to go ahead and block you on up out of here. But let me get to my next call, if I'm able to do that. Okay. 617 on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Yeah, this is Ivan, the one that always give you a hard time.
All right, Ivan. What's going on with you, man?
I've been asking a question. Why you think we should pay reparations for American Indians?
Do they get reparations right now?
Yeah, they get it right. Yeah, the state tuition, healthcare.
How much do they get?
Well, that's a benefit. I mean, if I have
so we don't pay it. They get benefits.
Well, benefits are subsidies. That means they get. That's our reparations. Reparation could be in different ways. Doesn't mean it's only cash.
So they don't get paid reparations. So they don't get paid reparations. So basically, you're saying benefits. I mean, Black Americans have plenty of benefits right now. You got all kind of things. You got affirmative action. You have all kind of government programs. You have EBT. Wait. Hold on. Let's just pause for a minute because let's compare apples to apples. Mm-hmm. You're talking about benefits and whatnot. Black Americans have plenty of benefits right now. Just for being black, you have affirmative action. You have WIC, EBT, TANF, food stamp, Section 8, all kind of things that we take advantage of all the time. At least 1/4 of all African Americans are some kind of form of government assistance. African Americans are also we have a high percentage of government jobs, higher than any other race. So, I mean, there's all kind of government programs to take advantage of already. All kind of benefits. All kind of benefits we have. Wait. I'm not done. We have all kind of benefits now. So I'm not really sure what else we can get on top of that that's actually going to make a difference. You see what I'm saying?
Okay. Now I'm coming. So you ready? Mention me the black banks that get funding from the Federal Reserve in order to expand the capital to compete with other banks.
Oh, how about this? During the bailouts, Maxine Waters. Wait. I'm almost done. Because you're talking about federal funding. I'm going to answer your question. During the bailouts, Maxine Waters' husband was on the board of a bank called One United. During the bailouts, the question was raised about minority banks. Let's get some minority banks, a look because they are needed to be funded to be able to compete. Her husband was on the board of One United. He gets paid like $250,000 from them. They were given like $12 million to stay funded and not fall during the actual bailouts. So, I mean, there's all kind of things that these banks give.
You're going to compare, you're going to compare $12 million for United Bank, one of the largest black banks, with, do you know how much Goldman Sachs, do you know how much Bank of America, do you know how much Bank of New York get? They get in the trillions with a T. That's what the Federal Reserve is never been audited.
Wait, hold on. You're talking about the Federal Reserve. We're talking about the government.
That's what I'm saying.
Wait.
$12 million. What the hell?
That money. Wait, sir, relax. Hold on. The $12 million came from the federal government, not from the Federal Reserve. That's two different things. The Federal Reserve is not the government; it's a private company. Let's get this.
That's what I'm saying. But the Federal Reserve,
let's get facts straight.
The Federal Reserve provided cash for these banks so they could continue the operations. So
no. That money came from the U.S. government, not the Federal Reserve.
I think you are confused.
I'm not confused. I'm talking about the bank, sir. Wait a minute. If I'm talking, you got to stop talking. I put you on mute, and I put you on mute as well, so I can't hear you, and they can't hear you. The money that the One United Bank got was from the government, not from the Federal Reserve Bank. So I think that your facts here aren't really right. So I'll put you back on if you got any response to that.
Okay. First, you are wrong in a lot of things. Affirmative action is not only for black people. Affirmative action could be for other minorities. That means Latinos. That means white women. That means other people that have nothing connection to descendants of slavery. So affirmative action is not only a black benefit. So
but blacks use it, right? But blacks use it, right?
They use it, but others use it.
All right, so I'm right. But next,
Okay, so that's not a benefit.
Yes, it is.
When I'm talking about Indians, Indians has a specific benefit for them.
What do they get?
Healthcare is for them. You cannot even also on reservation. You as a black man, everything that your ancestor did, your parents, your everything that they went to, you cannot go and move to a reservation without getting the permission.
Why would I want to go there?
For the tribe.
Why would I want to go there?
Okay, now I'm coming to my point.
No, but
So
wait,
caller.
caller. Why would I want to go there on a reservation?
Okay, let's say you don't want to go there. Let's say you
But
don't
no,
want to
the
go
question
there.
is, sir, I'll put you on mute. I'm gonna ask you a question. I'm gonna put you on mute. I'm gonna ask you a question. If you want to respond, then you can respond. Why would I want to go to a reservation?
I live there. Let's say you want to buy a piece of land.
But
there.
why?
I don't know. Look.
Why would you bring that up if you don't know?
Let's go to my point. Let's go to my point. My point is why the taxpayer should pay for the infrastructure on those land when that land is not available for everybody.
Well, it's because the United States broke a treaty with the Native Americans, and that's what that is.
So that means they broke it. So how about when we're supposed to get the 40 acres of land and a mule? They broke that treaty. We never get that money back,
That was
right?
no treaty. That was a campaign promise.
No, don't change the topic. You said they broke a treaty.
That was not a treaty.
Replaced them.
Sir,
that's what the woman destroyed.
That was a promise. It was not a treaty, sir. When I'm talking, you gotta stop talking, because the thing is, you don't understand. I can mute you at any point in time, and I can mute the speaker, so I can't even hear you right now. The point is that there was no treaty talking about 40 acres and a mule. It was more of a promise. It was not a treaty. It was an actual treaty that was in place between the United States government and some of these tribes, these native tribes, that was broken. Therefore, they had to fix what they broke as far as a law that was broken. But what law was broken when you're talking about slavery?
That's what I'm saying. So that means they get benefits. Black people have not get their benefits yet.
We get plenty of benefits. You're not being truthful when you say we don't get any benefits.
So what benefits we get is only specific for black people? Tell me one.
I don't know.
Then you don't know.
It doesn't matter, but we still get them.
We still get them. Those things exist. There's no specific.
Okay, here's something I'm gonna ask you. Do black folks take advantage of the benefits that are out there for us to have? Yes or no? Yes or no question?
Yes, some do, some don't.
Okay, so the answer is yes. So I'm right.
Just like any other race.
But the answer is
like
yes.
Any other race. So there's no difference.
So the answer is yes. So I'm right. Thank you.
So that's like any other race. So you're not answering my question.
It doesn't matter.
It's
really irrelevant, because the whole point is this. The whole point of reparations is to help the black community go forward. You're talking about
No. That's nothing to do with
the whole point. I'm gonna finish my point. You're not gonna cut me off. You want me to again? The whole point of reparations is to help the black community go forward. It's not just because we're supposed to get it just for fifis and feelings. If the Native Americans get all these benefits, then why are they the poorest people in the country, even worse than blacks?
The point, dude, you're missing the point. Is this not about
the question was if Native? I can't hear you either. So if you're talking right now, you're just talking into the wind. If the point is to have reparations come in and help black Americans, not just for feelings and optics, then why would you compare us to Native Americans, who are the poorest people in the United States, even worse than blacks? How could we look towards their model to help us when they're poorer than we are?
What's really the point of that? You're missing the point. So because do
you have an answer to your question?
So because they're poor.
Do you have an answer?
So because they're poor, then black people should not get what they were promised.
But why?
That's your assessment. That's your argument.
But who was promised that, sir? See, you can't overtalk me. I'm gonna go ahead and hang up on you if you can't just be quiet for a moment. So
bring me your point and I'll bring mine. Bring your point.
Ask a question one more time, and then I'm gonna go to the next call.
Okay, you say because they're poor, they're not supposed to get the benefits because they get plenty of the benefits.
I didn't say that. I said what would the purpose be? If Native Americans are poorer than African Americans, then why would we want what they have? How does it make any sense?
Makes sense because some of them they take advantage of that. Some don't. But that's irrelevant bureaucracy.
If it didn't work for them, because they
why would it work for us? And they got the benefits, we should not.
If it does not work for Native Americans, why would it work for us?
So your point is we should not get anything.
The question is
it's too late.
The question is, and you're on mute again, and if you can't answer the question, I'm gonna get to the next call. If the Native Americans are poorer than African Americans, then what would be the purpose of us getting what they have?
Because that's what's promised.
So you don't care that it doesn't work?
No. That's what was promised. If
okay.
Somebody if
okay.
You
answered the question.
You anything,
you answered the question.
That's
so
promise. That's what was promised.
The follow-up question is you don't care that it doesn't work for the Native Americans, right?
I don't know if he's going to work for Native America or not.
No, it does not. It does not work. It does not work because they're poorer than we are.
Like I said.
All right. So here's one more question. I'm gonna get to the next call. You're on mute again. So if the numbers say that Native Americans are poorer than Black Americans, that would point towards those benefits they get not working for them, correct?
I don't know if those benefits work for them, and that's not the point. The point is that was promised.
Okay, wrap it up.
Stick with the promise.
Wrap it up, and then I'm gonna get to the next call.
Stick with the promise. Forget about if they're poor or not. Stick with the promise. Let's just stick with the promise, right? Let's just stick with the promise, and then to repair the damage that's been done for hundreds of years.
Okay,
hundreds of years. Because you include the Jim Crow, you include all that stuff. Black people lost millions of dollars, billions of dollars,
billions of dollars.
All right.
All right. Well, thank you for the call.
Billions of dollars with a B back then. And
thank you for the call.
You're talking about
thank
billions.
you for the call. Okay. I hung up on him. But let me get to the next call here. And shout out to everybody that's been on the line for a long time. I'm sorry I have not been able to get everybody on, but I'm going to try to get all the new callers on. 828 in the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hi there. This is Janie from North Carolina.
All righty. What's going on?
Okay, I just had a few comments. I think that those long-winded callers, cut it down, first of all. Cut it down. Okay, the next thing I was going to say is I just thought it was great that Donald Trump said that, well, to just send the illegal immigrants to the sanctuary cities.
That's right.
And the rest of them, I think that we should just bill whatever country they're coming from, because the U.S. spends, say, $500 billion to Mexico for aid, and to Honduras, and to El Salvador. I think that's what the triangle is. Anyway, I think that they have to just take that number of people off their check for what it costs for them to stay here a year. That way, maybe they wouldn't send so many to the border if they're going to have to pay for them out of their money. The next thing I saw was that New York State had passed a bill that gave illegal immigrants more money for free tuition than to our veterans' children, that may have given their entire life. And I'm thinking, how are you going to give them any money to go to school if they're illegal? I thought to be there at the colleges when they sign up, they find out they're illegal, boom, send them back.
That's right.
I just think that's a horrible, horrible disgrace and disrespect to all of our veterans who go into the military. I just think that is just wrong. The next thing I was going to ask you a question. I have two brothers and a sister that are all retired. They all live together. Mm-hmm. All right, when we were growing up, we didn't have cable TV, so whatever news was on. And Mom and Dad, they watched that news every day. Well, they didn't know enough, and technology did not, wasn't where you could look it up to even see if it was false information, and I'm sure if it's so fake today that it was fake 40 years ago too, that they're diehard Democrats. They really are. It don't matter who's going to run, they're going to vote for them. And I keep trying to explain to them what's going on, but evidently I don't say what needs to be said, or how would I go about. I thought about printing them out, just a fact sheet or something, because of the way we were raised, they just, in their minds, the Democrat are for the poor people and the Republicans are for rich people. Mm-hmm. So if you could just maybe give me a couple ideas, as to how I can turn them around, because it's almost like they don't want to hear they're just saying Trump's bad. Everybody hates him. I'll be glad when he's out of office. And I'm thinking he's not going out of office for 4 more years. He will be reelected.
Yeah, but I'm gonna tell you one thing. No, it's kind of hard to convince people that have been around for a long time anything different than what they believe. But if you want to try, I mean, just point out how some of these liberal cities have some of the biggest, what you would call income inequality. They say they're for the poor people, right? Well, look at Los Angeles. You got some of the biggest homeless encampments in the whole country. All right. Skid Row, and then you have Orange County with Anaheim, crazy tent cities everywhere, third world conditions. You got HIV running rampant, hepatitis running rampant. San Francisco, same thing, disgusting conditions in these super liberal places. All these rich people, all this money, but yet you have all these disgusting conditions. If they're for poor people, then why do they live in filth? Why do their poor people live so terribly? It doesn't make any sense. Same thing with Chicago, New York to a certain extent, but definitely on the West Coast, you got poor people living in deplorable conditions. You really don't have that in the more conservative places. People don't live like animals like the way they do on the West Coast or in these really liberal cities. So just look at where these people are. All these liberal people in these big parts of the country, look at how they live versus the conservative places. Just compare it.
All right. Well, I'll talk to him because, even my brother said, he says, I'm going to cancel after vote. I don't care. I'm still going to vote. But, I think you're wrong. But it's just so hard because, see, what they're hearing is just fake news that's out there about Donald Trump.
Right.
But I appreciate your time, and I love your show, and you have a great evening.
Thank you for the call. Definitely appreciate you.
Okay, I'll talk to you later.
All right now.
Bye.
Bye. All right, shout out to the caller. I know that could be a hard thing to try and convince family members of a thing that's different than what they have been growing up with for a long time. But hey, it is what it is. And shout out to everybody that's called in so far. You guys are fantastic. And the number to call is 434-658-1220. Let me get to my next call here. 563, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Who's this?
563, you're on the line.
Who's this?
All right, somebody playing games on the phone, don't got no time. Go back to Xbox Live. This is not, All right, let me get to my next call. And shout out to everybody in the building that's called in. I appreciate you guys. All right, Nico, what's going on, boss?
Oh, hi, Anthony. You seem pretty busy tonight.
Yeah, the phone lines are jammed up, man. So what's happening with you?
Well, 12-hour days, and I spend most of my days off sleeping.
Hey, man, working, man, really busy, making it happen.
It's just depressing because life kind of just passes you. I feel that life is passing by, But anyway, let's get on to it, okay? Since time's ticking here. So about this. First off, I want to say congratulations to Candace Owens. She is the voice of this She is one of the voices of this generation. That's all I gotta say right there.
Absolutely, 100%.
All right, but so I'm gonna move. I know I'm not gonna dwell on that too long, but I just want to talk about reparations. Do you know how they talk about reparations for giving reparations to blacks and that kind of stuff?
Yeah.
I think that reparations is going to be a catch-22. If you're going to give blacks reparations for for slavery, then therefore you're probably going to have the Irish and the Italians asking for reparations because they were treated as horribly, maybe in the northern states. See, because in slavery for blacks happened in the South, but in the North, particularly the New England region, you had slavery and prejudice towards the Irish and the Italians, right? And therefore, if not, they were treated worse than the blacks down south. So therefore, you're probably going to have we're probably going to have to give reparations to them. You see my catch-22 right there?
Yeah, it's a Pandora's box. You open it up, you're going to have all kind of different ways you can go. And then you're going to have people that are actually white talking about, I have a great grandfather that was in slavery, and I want to get paid too. So where does it really stop? It's just weird. Like I said during the debate, reparations should have happened right at the particular point in time it would have been due, which is at the end of slavery. You were able to identify the slave master, and a slave owner. But even then, it probably wouldn't have worked because you had to have the illegality part of it. So it's just it's nothing more than a campaign promise to try and get some more votes and some attention.
But of course, they don't talk. You don't hear them talk a lot about that because, I mean, well, see, Gangs of New York, even though it's a movie, but you watch that movie as what I'm talking about here. But anywho, it's just they don't talk about that because one, Irish and Italians are whites, and therefore whites to left-wing groups are not marginalized communities, and two, it's not politically favorable.
That's right.
It's the same thing you hear. I mean, domestic violence in gay communities. It happens, but they don't like to talk about it. They always want to talk about male on female violence.
That's right. They don't want to talk about things that are going on that are pretty big elephants in the room because they got to have certain narrative they want to push. They want to talk about this whole violent male thing without exploring all the other ways it kind of manifests.
All right, but that's all right. Now I'm gonna move on right there really quick. Have you heard of this? So this is what's going on in college. I think it's at Texas State University that this Mexican immigrant college student is called a traitor because she's manga.
Yeah, I've not seen that, but I'm not surprised at all.
Have you heard of that? And then she's talking about how she's grateful to be an American citizen, and therefore, if you become an illegal immigrant, everyone should do the same thing. And she's just talking about how much she likes the president.
I mean, that should be okay. That shouldn't be necessarily controversial, but you know how it is nowadays. These liberals can't really take too much like that. They want everybody to pretty much feel the same way they feel. And if you don't, then you get, pretty much attacked.
Oh, believe me, there's I remember seeing this a couple days ago that there was some raw video, and there's these people, you had these Mexican people, and you have these white liberals are calling her a traitor to her own race.
Yeah, that's wild.
Yeah, and there's another thing I want to say right here. Have you heard of this where these white liberal college students are supporting college segregation because they think it would make blacks or minorities happier?
Yeah, I saw that. Somebody called into my show probably about 2 weeks ago, and they said that they were separated by race as far as their seating. It's like, that's crazy.
Sorry, I almost interrupted you there.
No, go ahead, boss.
I was going to say this, but then there was this videos about you ask the same questions to the black college students themselves, and then all of a sudden they're actually really confused about this. They say, wouldn't that take us back in time to the time of segregation?
Right. The whole back of the bus thing. I thought that a lady sat down and didn't want to get up, and they had this whole boycott and the whole 9 yards, and we got beyond that with the civil rights laws. Now you want to go back to before civil rights. It makes no sense. I mean, you're taking away freedom and all that stuff.
But here's the other thing. What's the problem with segregation? If they do implement segregation again, I think that it's a correlation between murder rates, because they don't talk about the murder rates, but for the most part, we do not really in America. The way how they talk about racism, it's usually reflected towards our own kind. We don't really show respect towards our own kind, as perhaps the murder rate suggests in a sort of way. I'm talking to a friend here. I'm talking to a friend. Don't promote it. All right. Sorry, that's not a guy. That was someone. But anyway, I was saying was that it's probably that because we don't. If you look at the murder rates, we don't show respect towards our own kind.
Right.
Hello. I'm really.
I'm right here, boss. I got you.
All right. Sorry about that, but it's just that we don't really show respect towards our own kind. I mean, you have 90% blacks kill blacks, and then with all this white supremacy hysteria, yet you look at the murder rates, and then whites kill white. Out of all the murder rates committed by whites, 85% of victims tend to be, other white folks. And the same thing probably goes on with Hispanics and Asians and Arabs, and you're playing an endless game of hopscotch until you're going to be jumping off a cliff right here.
Exactly. And, it's crazy how that kind of works out. And people don't really want to talk about that. It's all about pushing that narrative. Racism. But we don't want to look at the big time elephant in the room. That's really the problem.
Oh, well, I'm saying is that even if we do implement segregation, I think that the murder rates and crimes are really going to rise when you. I just think it's gonna do more harm than good than you realize. Not towards race relations, but towards how we show respect towards our own kind. Do you understand what I'm trying to say here?
I'm with you right 100%, boss.
All right, so that's pretty much. I know there's a lot more I gotta say right here, but I know you have a lot of callers tonight, so thanks for taking my call.
Thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
All right.
I thank you to Nico for the call. Most certainly appreciate him. And shout out to everybody that has called in. I really, really appreciate you guys. The number to call is 434-658-1220. Okay, let's try this one more time. 563, you on the line? 563.
Who's this?
563, can you hear me? Okay, do you know who you called?
Logan?
Yes, it is.
Really?
Yes.
Okay. Well, I'm watching you on YouTube here, so I get confused. I just muted.
Yeah, do not watch the stream. Just talk to me on the phone.
Okay, cool. I'd like to talk about a couple issues. Number one, the socialism. I got thinking about this. In the first part of our country, if you know, my history's kind of vaguer, but
Call it. You kind of low. Can you speak up a little bit?
Okay, sure. We had some socialists in the beginning of our country with John. What was it out where John Smith? They had these Englishmen come in, and they didn't want to work. And John Smith, the leader of this settlement, I think it was Jamestown, he said, "If you don't work, neither should you eat."
I mean, that makes sense to me. That's pretty much how it is all over the world. All these entitlements are a relatively new thing in society.
Right. Well, anyway, that was at the beginning of our country, so this kind of goes on with these people are promoting today. But the main reason I called is the liberals on the left, and you know, they want to promote marijuana for tax money. Okay, and my problem with this is everybody knows, as you know, is my version of it is definitely a gateway drug, and we lose 70,000 people to opioids or to overdoses every year. And I think if I read right, it was $1.94 billion for the health care. So my fear is when we promote this legalized pot for tax money, that 70,000 will jump up to 140,000 people will die from overdoses at the take of $4 billion. You know, and our health care is going to skyrocket. I mean, we're losing our sanity in this nation. You know. And
well, I think the whole thing about weed is a little bit deeper. What's happening with the weed is that the government wants to take control of that. They want to get the revenue from it directly, and they also want to have the big tobacco industry come in and put their whole spin on it, because it ain't going to be just a regular weed. Because I think my man Dr. Sheba was talking about this on a previous when I did an interview with him. He talking about this whole thing about weed. They're going to make it be super potent and to the point where it's like addictive, and it's going to be like cigarettes again. Because you could smoke like tobacco, and it's not really as bad as cigarettes or all the additives in it that make it be addictive as it is. You know.
Yes, and they 30 years ago they developed a cigarette that was 3 or 4 times as strong. So they outlawed it, growing it here. So they grew it down in South America. As long as they chop it up in little pieces, they can send it back to America.
That's right.
So yeah, and but the point is, none of that's going to work. Okay, I just happen to be a Bible thumper. I know the book, but that will not work. People are going to be doing drugs, and they're going to be buying more stuff. They're going to have to eventually mark some. They're going to put a chip in your little right hand on your forehead. I don't care. That day is coming, and there's no way to control this concept of everybody smoking pot, and then and nobody's going to be out buying crack or heroin or something like that. It's going to skyrocket. You know, they say out in Colorado the kids are just like numb now in school.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's you know, like you have a lot of consequences that they didn't see coming with the legalizing weed. You're touching all kind of vagrants, because not every drug user that smokes weed is going to be what the people that are for it are going to tell you. They're going to talk about, you know, having the munchies and playing PlayStation, but it's not like that for real, because these people, a lot of them had all kind of other problems that they're masking with drugs. So then when they come in mass to your particular place, it's not going to be anything nice.
Yeah. Well, the truth of the matter is, you could be raised right and get caught in a trap, and pretty soon you're snorting. I mean, you're going to experiment, and that's what happened to a lot of us in our day.
Yeah.
I'm an older gentleman, and my joke is, well, why get worried, because healthcare is going to be free, right?
right, exactly.
And what I'm saying is, if it costs $1.94 billion now to take care of all these opioid, overdose people, I mean, what's it going to be in 10 years once this thing gets going? Because people do experiments. If you smoke pot, and I'm sure you did other things, and some of them take the wrong thing that first time, and then they're hooked.
That's right.
So it's very fearful what we're doing to our nation, the liberal mindset. But we are paying a price right now. So hey, I wish you well. I just seen you for the first time today on YouTube. So you're doing a good job.
Well, thank you for the call. Definitely appreciate you.
Have a good day.
All right, same to you.
Bye.
All right, shout out to the caller. Thank you for calling. I got about 20 more minutes left. Thank you all for being here. We still got 373 live in the building. If you're just now coming in or you came in recently, please give me a thumbs up on the video. And that does a lot for me, helps the algorithms and whatnot. And if you like what you're hearing, please share it. And if you are just now seeing it, you haven't been here before, please subscribe to the video. There should be a red button beneath me that says subscribe. Click on that, make that red button turn gray, and click on the bell beside it so you get notified whenever I go live or post a new video. The bell might work, it might not work, but try it anyway. For me, I'd really appreciate you. But let me get to my next call. Nippin, what's going on with you, boss?
Not much. How you doing?
Everything's good, man.
Yeah. Julian Assange. It was on the news. I read it on the newspaper when I was on the subway.
So what are they going to do? Like, what's your opinion about what UK is going to do? I heard that he got convicted there of breaching bail because of the Sweden case.
Apparently, a friend of mine just told me that he's in jail.
Yeah, he's in jail in UK. That's correct, because of the Sweden case. Because he breached bail. That's why he was in the consulate.
And there's been an ongoing trend in the calls recently about Islam.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, the soccer community in the UK have gone up in arms again.
Now, what happened this time?
Now a Muslim footballer from Egypt was what's its name? Yeah, he was thrown some chants called Salah the Bomber because he's from Egypt. And
Wow.
then people started crying, racism. No, Islam is not a race. It's an ideology. There's a difference.
Right.
I mean, I'm not condoning their actions. Their actions were wrong.
But hold on. But the thing about it is, since when did we become so politically correct at soccer matches? I mean, you're talking about the hooligans. Haven't they always said like things such as this? It's not.
Yeah,
it's
but
just heckling.
back then, nobody really cared.
Yeah.
Now everyone's started going up in arms. Ever since Brexit, ever since Trump, ever since the rise of conservatism in Italy. Well, not conservatism, because there's some left wing in it as well. Ever since the rise of populism in Italy, everything has been going up in arms.
Right, that's what it seems like, for sure.
Yes, so they called that football player a bomber because he was a Muslim. I'm sorry, but okay, I condone those actions because hashtag not all Muslims are bombers. Someone says in the comment section again about my smoke alarm. Only my dad knows how to do that. I don't know how to do it.
You got to change the battery. Get a 9-volt battery and change it. It'd be all right.
Yeah, I'll get him to do it. Yeah, so Yeah, they've gone up in arms, like shouting racism, racism. No, it's not a race. It's an ideology.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that's that. Now Roseanne Barr. What did she say this time?
No, not Roseanne Barr. William Barr, the Attorney General.
Oh, William Barr. Sorry. Yeah, what did he say?
He said Trump was spied on. He said that he believes Trump was spied on during the 2016 election cycle.
Well, was he?
I believe so, but I think that he has to garner the evidence to be able to, say exactly what happened and why. But I believe that he did get spied on. I mean, it's pretty clear that they did spy on Paul Manafort inside Trump Tower. And why would you spy on Manafort for what? You're trying to get intel on the Trump campaign and on Trump himself. So it's pretty clear what's going on.
Yeah, you just wanted they just wanted to sabotage his chances of becoming the president.
That's correct.
Yeah, that worked.
Yeah, it didn't work out too well for them, huh?
Yeah, when I said that worked, right. I was being sarcastic.
Of course.
And where's the Attorney General of which state?
The United States.
Oh yeah. Is he permanent now? Because
yes.
I heard that. Oh, he's the permanent one now.
Yeah, because they had Matt Whitaker. He was the interim. He was the acting, and then you have William Barr as a permanent.
Oh, okay. What happened to old Jeff again?
Oh, Jeff got canned. He's out of here because he wasn't doing his job. I mean, I like Jeff Sessions, but he wasn't working. And if you're gonna do a job, you got to work.
He's always been a dodgy dude. I mean, like, he's always been like. For me, he's been a never Trump. I've seen him as a never Trumper.
Well, maybe he was, and that might have been why he had to get the boot.
Yeah. And how's the wall going on?
I said, how's the wall? I mean, we're working on it. And the thing about it is, what people don't know is that there's already a wall down there. It's just not complete. All we're doing right now is trying to complete the wall. I've seen the wall before, all this stuff, all this talk about the wall happened. I've been to the border. There's already a wall right there, but it's just not complete. You got big areas where it's open. So all we're doing right now is just trying to patch the open areas closed.
Yeah. How long is it going to be? It's going to be like from Southern California all the way to Texas, right?
That's right.
Yeah, because that's where all the problems are.
Correct. Correctamundo.
And Ilhan Omar, what did he say this time?
Ilhan Omar said that 9/11 was some people that did something.
Oh yeah, I remember seeing that. Oh my! She's an ISIS sympathizer. There's no other way to put it. She's a terrorist sympathizer. There's no other way to put it. There's no other way to put it.
That's what it seems like to me for sure.
Yeah. So that's that. Now there's something about Julian Assange being extradited to the U.S.
Yeah, like the thing about it is he was arrested inside the consulate because they're trying to extradite him to the United States. But I'm not sure if that's going to happen. But Nippin, I got to get to some more calls because I'm almost at the end of the show, and I want to get probably two more in here.
It was nice catching up with you, ABL.
Oh, as always, man. Thank you for the call. Definitely appreciate you.
Shall see you on Thursday.
All right, I'll see you then.
Peace.
All right, Nippin, thank you for the call, my man from UK. I know it was late over there, so shout out to my man Nippin. All right, I think my man 678 wants to get on. I'm gonna try to get you on, boss, if I can. Or was it 978 or 678? I think it's 978. Let's try this. 978, you're on the line. I'm speaking to.
Hey, Anthony, this is Steve Baldessari with the Garden Country. How you doing?
Oh, it's all good, man. Say your name one more time because you kind of sorted out there.
Oh, sorry. It's Steve Baldessari with American Patriots for Garden Country.
There you go. All right. What's going on?
Yeah. Not too much. Just, well, there's a lot going on in the news, though. Real quick, I'm also with AmericanPatriotsApparel.com. Check that website out if you like patriotic gear. Anyways, moving on to the topics at hand. The last couple of callers hit on a lot of things. You know, Ilhan Omar, ISIS sympathizer, sums it up. These Muslims that are here are doing exactly what they did everywhere else that they go, every other country that they go to. They start off quiet. They come in, they infiltrate the governments at the local levels, and they move up to the Congress. And, you know, it's only a matter of time before they push to have someone run for president, you know, somehow, some way. And I'm just saying, people get mad. They think it's hateful to speak out against Islam. It's hateful not to speak out against Islam. Islam is a psychotic ideology that's a danger to humanity. And if people don't start waking up to that fact, we're on a whole heap of trouble, okay? And so that kind of sums up how I feel about Ilhan Omar and any of these other Muslims in our country. They're loyal to Sharia law. They don't care about the Constitution. The left is sympathizing with them now, thinking that, I don't know what they're thinking, but they always seem to sympathize with bad people, whether it's, you know, Muslims, communists, socialists, whatever. So that's what I feel about that. As for reparations, I mean, it's a joke. It's just a joke. I mean, we got the left always talking about equality, right? And if we're all for equality and we're all equal, why am I going to give money to some people from a totally different generation that were never slaves? I mean, that's completely backwards. I mean, we need to, just like you said earlier in your show, we need to be equal. We need to move forward to the future, and we need to stop having affirmative action. We just need to be equal. That's it. And, you know, you can't fix the past of what other people that we didn't know did by hurting the people of the present and the future. That's not going to work. It's going to lead to an endless cycle of hatred, of, you know, going back prior to slavery, even, of that mentality, that slave mentality that they're trying to keep the Black, Spanish community in, you know? I need a breath. All right. So what do you think about any of that?
I mean, I'm right there with you, man. I think all these programs, all these special racial set-asides should just kind of go away. We should all just be one people, be Americans. And reparations is no more than just the same as all the other things that we already have. It's just one more thing. It's not going to help at all. And, you know, after that gets done, if it were to be done, which it won't, it'll just be the next thing. Okay, we got this. What about this? What about that? It'll be a never ending thing. It'll always be something that somebody wants to cry about to try and get. So I think at a certain point it should stop. And what better time than right now than to stop crying and trying to beg for things?
Hear, hear, brother. Hear, hear. And, you know, this is coming from everybody who's listened to this. Keep in mind, you know, to bring it all home and bring it together. This is coming from a gentleman that is a Black man, and he has a great show, and he's doing stuff with his life. He's making himself productive. And I'm an Italian guy. You don't hear me crying for reparations. I know one of the callers before was talking about Italians and Irish getting reparations. I don't want any reparations, okay? I don't want them. I find that insulting. I think it's insulting to even think that people who went through hell need a handout. If we're equal, let's be equal. Let's move forward. End of story. What else are we going to talk about here? Some things that other people were talking about. Oh, Julian Assange. I mean, you know, somebody mentioned earlier that they use the word hero too much on the show. Mm-hmm. And, you know, that it gets kind of like polluted, the word hero. And in other words, it gets overused. Well, you know what? The guy was a hero in certain ways. I'm not saying that in every way, but if you look at how much WikiLeaks exposing the truth about the left and what they were doing and what they are doing affected this country. Okay, I don't care if you don't like Donald Trump. I don't care if you are on the left. You got to understand it's not good for America if these people got away with what they were doing and what they are doing. It's not going to be good for your kids. It's not going to be good for the economy. It's not going to be good for our safety at the border against the Muslims and fighting ISIS. I mean, and the list goes on and on. So it was a miracle that Trump won. And as a Christian guy, I don't think Trump is a Christian. I think he values God somewhat. I don't think he's perfect. But, you know, I'm a Christian. I make mistakes too. We all fall short of the glory of God. So if you're looking for a perfect person in your president or in your congressman, and when you look in the mirror, do you see a perfect person? all of you who are listening, you got to understand, nobody's perfect. But the things that Donald Trump is doing for America, and if you're wondering what those things are, let me touch on a few, and then I'm going to end it here so you can get to the next caller. Some of those things are record low unemployment for blacks, for Spanish people, for Asians, for women. He's propped up our economy. Okay, he defeated ISIS. He's been helping us in so many ways. It's ridiculous. And he gets no credit, and now the media is trying to spin back to going after Kavanaugh. And they're just regurgitating the same nonsense. And everybody has to just say, listen, we're tired of hearing this. We're tired of this. We want to make America a good place to live again, where we can actually get along. But you can't have a godless nation. And that's what I'm going to close with. You have to unite under God, or else there will be no unity in America ever again. I am not going to unite with godless, communist, socialist, Muslim people. Don't expect me to. And you shouldn't expect yourself to.
Very well said, man. Thank you for the call as always. Definitely appreciate you.
Yeah. All right, ABL. I'm passionate. I'm fiery. Thanks, man. Take care, all right?
All right, thank you.
All right, take care. Bye.
All right, thank you to my man Steve Baldessari from American Patriots for God and Country. Y'all check him out. But let me get to my next call here. I'm going to try to get to a few more, and then I got to bounce. I might do a little extra time just for you guys because the phone lines are jumping. Let me get to the next call, though. SOBC, what's going on?
Hey, good evening, Anthony. What's going on?
Everything is great, man. Can't complain.
Good. Am I loud and clear?
Absolutely.
Great. Oh, man. I enjoyed your interview with Dr. Shiva. Man, that was something else, man.
Yeah, that was really good. I was surprised that they reached out to me to have the interview, and I'm glad that it was able to happen. A lot of truth bombs. I didn't even need to do too much. I just needed to just ask a couple questions, let them just go. So I'm glad that he came on the stream for sure.
Right, he's very accessible. I've actually seen him on other platforms, so that's really nice. That's something I really like about him.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and I actually did email you interview suggestion. I don't know if you got that.
When did you send it to me?
I think last week.
I gotta check. I get a lot of emails sometimes it gets lost, but I'm gonna check it out.
Okay. All right. Yeah, because I think this interview suggestion is also phenomenal. She's an amazing Black conservative lady. Mm-hmm. She kind of has the same background as you. She's into graphic design, and she's a lawyer. She's a blogger. She's cool.
Okay, I'll check it out for sure.
Yeah. So anyway, I just wanted to also say something about Dr. Shiva. He kind of reminds me. Well, I just kind of thought of this term called immigrant outlier, right? I don't know if that makes sense. I just made that up. But to me, an immigrant outlier is someone who comes here, right, and loves this country and cherishes all the opportunities that this country provides. And, they obey the law. They love the Constitution. They respect the flag. They're happy to be Americans. They embrace America, And Dr. Shiva reminds me of that. He's the definition of an immigrant outlier, And you also have Dinesh D'Souza. You have Gabrielle. I think I forgot her last name. Gabrielle Jibril.
Okay, I know you're talking about, but I can't think of her last name though.
Yeah, I think that's her last name. But yeah, that's to me those are good examples of immigrant outliers,
Oh, absolutely, and I think we need more of them. Definitely, more people like that should be coming into the country. That's what we need, rather than the people that the left wants to come in. These, illegal, no English, not trying to learn English, not trying to be assimilated into the country.
Exactly.
You're Ilhan Omar types. We don't need too many more of those.
Exactly, right. And I actually kind of somewhat agree with Cigar Box, caller from Canada. I agree with his idea of, just not allowing immigrants to run for office. But I also agree with your idea that, there are people who come here who are good, and, people like Dr. Shiva who we need in office.
You got to have him. I mean, especially like up where he's trying to be. He's trying to be like right in the Northeast where all the action is happening. And he's a real smart guy, invented email. I mean, a guy like that, how can you exclude him? It's kind of hard to do that.
Exactly. And for me, the only caveat I would add into that is I would include in a provision to, say, hey, if you're an immigrant and you're coming here and you want to run for office, you have to serve maybe 5 years in the Army. You have to show you have to show or show an example that you love this country, so that we don't have people like Ilhan Omar, and coming in and just kind of in a way being undercover, haters.
That's right.
Right. And it's also interesting that Cigar Box also made a very good point about how they run for office and they fight for other interests. They don't fight for American interests, or they fight for their own people. They don't fight for Americans.
Yeah, that's very true.
That's very true, and it reminds me of. We have a council member here in my county. The county I live in is about 25% Asian, and majority of them are Koreans. So there's this council member who's Korean immigrant, got elected, and one of the first things she did was to get loans for Korean immigrant business owners. That's the first thing she did, and she got them loans. Now they're turning one section of the county into a little Korea. They're going to build a bunch of Korean businesses. That's the first thing she did. So I kind of understand where Cigar Box was coming from with his idea.
Absolutely.
Yeah. But anyway, and my last point about Nipsey Hussle, I know we've beaten this horse a lot, and but I'm gonna hit it one last time. I didn't know that Nipsey Hussle came from an immigrant. His father was actually an immigrant from Eritrea.
That's correct.
So, and I think his mother was African American. So I have a question for those ADOS people. Does he qualify for ADOS or does he qualify for reparations?
You know what? I'm gonna go ahead and say it. Since they like Nipsey Hussle so much, they're going to waive the ADOS requirement for him.
Oh yeah,
that's how that works. If they don't like you, then they're going to look into your background. If you have a great grandma that came from Grenada in the 1800s, then you're not ADOS if they don't like you. But if they like you, you can be mixed black and white, and your white person could be from, I don't know, somewhere in Russia, Moscow, and you can have a father that came from Congo, and you're just fine. You're ADOS.
Exactly. It's just so funny. Otherwise, ABL, thanks for putting together this great show, and we'll always be here supporting.
Thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
All right. Take care.
All right, now. Okay. All righty. Thank you to my man, SOBC, Story of the Black Conservative, for the call. Most certainly appreciate him. I'm going to take a few more calls here. Y'all give me a little bit. Give me like 10 more minutes. I think I'm going to take a few more calls. 301, you're the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, JB, what's up, my brother?
What's going on, man?
Long time no hear from brother, man. I just drove through Chattanooga. I've been through Nashville. I've been getting all the southern states. I was like, well, I'll try to call you on Wednesday. I was doing the trucking thing now.
Oh, okay. Now, did you go over that big mountain from Chattanooga to Nashville, Mount Eagle?
Yes.
Now,
yes.
how was that?
Scary in the semi. Very, very scary.
Yeah. Now, you went up it, but did you go back down?
Yes.
Oh man, like you got to pretty much you probably had to use a Jake, didn't you?
J-brake. I used J-brake, tapped the brakes, then my brakes went out a little bit. It got down to like maybe 94%. Had to get up off of that and just stare my way down. You talk about scary. I was pooping my pants a little bit. I was like, this is not good.
And you know what? It used to be worse than that. It used to be worse than that. They fixed it a little bit to make it better, but it was worse than that back in the day.
You ain't lying, man. Woo! Woo! You talk about now, it's scary now. I just scared. I imagine the semi. I had like 40,000 pounds on me.
Oh man, good.
47,000 pounds on me. Yes.
Yeah.
But I was thinking about this. This is where ABL is at. It's a nice area. So I called my wife. My wife was like, "You think I'm moving?" I said, "Hell, I mean, yes." I'm about to hell yeah. Sorry about that. But yeah. But besides all that, though, I can hear some of the crazy stuff they're talking about. That the Democrats are now saying that they are demanding that Trump gives up his tax forms. I'm like, yeah, give up. It's over.
Yeah, I mean, they're talking about they're giving them a deadline, April 26th. It's like, how you gonna just force people to give over private information like that? Like that's not how this goes.
Exactly, and then you got these nut job people always talking about reparations in school. Now trying to pay $27 for reparation fees, like every week to every student that's black in some Georgia school. That is going to break the county. That's going to break everybody.
Exactly.
This is retarded. They're losing their mind. They think replicate's going to help us. It doesn't help us.
Nah,
I've never been a slave.
Right. It ain't going to do nothing. It's just one more check proposed. It ain't going to do nothing.
Exactly. And then on another flip side is, I'm sick of hearing all these people talk about these automated cars. You heard about the automated thing that you're talking about?
Yeah.
You know, automated trust will take over. I say, look, if they want to trust a semi to a machine that somebody can hack and run into walls, be my guest and see what happens.
Right. Exactly. It made no sense. Like, you know, like I heard it was actually a shortfall in trucking. They want more truckers to be on the road. So if they want more truckers, then how you going to have automation come in and take over the jobs? I'm not really sure how that's going to work.
Yeah, but then you got that little Asian guy talking about, yeah, they're going to take over. See, people don't understand. He's the problem. Guys like him, they're pushing it because it's going to bring money in their pockets.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then on top of that, oh, wow. Yeah, I had a slight breakdown. I'm stuck in a shipping yard in Georgia.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, man, I ain't talked to you in a while, man, but it's good hearing from you, brother, man. And, okay, what level are you in division?
Oh, I'm already beat it. I'm 30.
You level 30?
Yeah, I beat the game. I'm in post game now. Like one of my friends came in the game with me just randomly and gave me a lot of stuff. It helped me just go ahead and just breeze through it. So I'm at 30.
Yeah. I'm at like 22, 23.
Yeah,
but until level 30, huh?
Once you get that high, it kind of flies through after that because you're able to level up pretty quick.
Yeah, because I seen some players like 430. I'm like, y'all ain't got no lives.
Yeah, I'm not
like
that.
475.
Nah.
That's too much work.
Yeah, that's too much. I don't got that kind of time.
I got to kind of say, oh, Days Gone. Are you getting it? It's coming out.
I don't know. I gotta see some gameplay. I gotta see somebody else play it. I ain't gonna pre-order it or nothing. I'm gonna just see what people are doing first before I jump into it. But if it's good, I'm gonna get it. I got it ordered. You got to pre-order?
I got to pre-order. I think come out next week sometime or 26. 26.
Yeah, 26. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm thinking I'm gonna get it ABL, but I'm like, I already put the $20 down on. So I'm like, don't want to take my 20 back and say get it. But I'm like, nah, I'm giving it a shot. I done bought plenty of dumb games. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
So all right, ABL. Nice talking to you, brother, man. Peace, love, and jerk juice, brother. All right.
All right.
Always a pleasure.
Thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate it.
And ignore the haters, all right?
Oh, will do. No problem. All right, now.
All right, bye.
All right, thank you to my man JB for the call. Most certainly appreciate him. And shout out to all y'all for being here. All right. Rapid fire calls. I'm going to take a few more, but they got to be really quick. Okay, maybe not. I thought I was going to give somebody. Matter of fact, okay. Super chats, and then I'll probably get out. Okay, here we go. That's what I wanted. 214 in the line. I'm going to speak it to.
Hey, man, what's going on? This is Tariq.
What's going on, Tariq?
Well, not much, man. I think 3 or 2 calls ago, one of your callers threw me off at the end. He was like, I don't want to ally with communists, which I agree with. But then he said the Muslims. And my question is for concerns. I really have a question because I'm just like, what power do Muslims have in America? Like, I'm serious about that question because I keep hearing like as if they're taking over neighborhoods in Congress. Like, well, like, how far has Sharia law affected America? Like, are there neighborhoods where Muslims are like forcing all the women, including non-Muslim women, to wear hijabs and not eat pork?
No, we're not.
Like-
we're not at that stage yet. But I think they're saying that they don't want that to happen.
But the thing is, I think a lot of that is paranoia. So I'm like, how can that happen? You would have to have a Congress. That means the American people would have to elect a majority of Congress in the House and the Senate who is pro, like, Saudi Arabian type Sharia law. That means I'm talking about non-Muslims.
Yeah.
Would have to elect that. And I just think that's paranoid because we have to be careful because a lot of times I think when we talk like that, we're actually agreeing with the foreign policy in the Middle East, which is endless wars. Because the thing is, a lot of these wars in the Middle East is causing this radicalization, and we have proof of that. Iraq is proof. Al-Qaeda didn't exist until we attacked Iraq. You know what I'm saying? ISIS didn't exist until we interfered in Syria. Libya didn't have any terrorists until we interfered in that. So I'm like, we're over these countries, creating these, like, invading these countries off of really false pretenses and then getting mad at the outcome. Instead of just having this policy where we just leave these countries alone. If Islam is a backwards religion, then just leave them alone. That way they can stay in their countries. But anyways, yeah, because what it does when we talk like that too, it just allows liberals to just point to us and see, like, you see how racist, white conservatives are, the conservatives. It's like, I feel like a lot of us aren't playing chess. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And we would be very offended if we said the same thing about Jews. You know what I'm saying? We got offended. So I don't know. I just think some conservatives got to be intelligent. They got to just, like, look at the big goal. But anyways, that's all I want to say about that. The other thing I want to say about is Donald Trump, this immigration thing. Like, I so agree with his tweet when he said, they're going to put all the illegal immigrants in these sanctuary cities. Like, that is such a common sense solution, man. Because it's like, if the Democrats want open borders, like, that would be good. Like, just drop them in these sanctuary cities and let them have it. But what is interesting is that the Democrats are upset about that. It's almost as if they're like, it's like they want these immigrants to cause all this, financial chaos in all these other cities, but they don't want to take accountability for it. You know what I'm saying? Because it's really, and also, bro, I really think that the Democrats want power so much, man. They're really trying to change the demographics of this country. Like, I'm serious. Like, if you have open borders, any race of people from the southern border can just immigrate. I just don't see how the predominant culture is going to survive when you have that. And it's not racist. It's not a racist thing to say you want to control your borders and preserve your culture. The Japanese people do it. The Chinese people do it. Even Africa would do that, man. If you know what I'm saying? If a bunch of outsiders were invading Kenya and just disrupting the whole culture illegally, I think the Kenyans will have a problem with that. You know what I'm saying? So yes. It's not a racist thing, but yeah, I don't think the Democrats care. It's just like, as long as they all vote Democrat, that's all that matters. And I think the Republicans, especially in Congress, got to realize that, man. You know what I'm saying? I just feel like they're just being quiet about it and then just letting it happen. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know if it's just they're just scared of liberal retaliation or what. But the one thing I was going to ask you is, do you think Trump should bring back the child separation policy?
Wait, as far as like having a family
separating. Yeah.
I think so, because the thing about it is, you're not really sure if the person talking about, oh, this is my child, is who they say they are. It could be anybody. It could be a coyote. It could be a pedophile. Who knows what it is?
Yeah, man. I think he should bring it back. And I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't think Americans really cared about that. I really think it was just the mainstream media liberals just throwing a fit about it. I just don't think the common American really cared, even if they were liberal. I think it was fake outrage, but I think the child separation policy was so effective that they had to make a lot of noise about it. So I was watching this documentary about El Salvador and immigration, and one of the ladies was like, because the United States had that child separation policy, many of them just gave up immigrating here. You know what I'm saying? And also, it's effective for these drug cartels who kidnap these kids, and or people kidnap kids to just have them come over with random people to get in. I think that's the most effective and logical policy. And yeah, I think Trump needs to reinstitute it and not care. Just ignore the noise. But do you think if he does that, do you think the Republicans would back him, or would they kind of cower and say he needs to stop doing it?
I can't really. I think some would support it, but some wouldn't. I can't really tell if it'd be more of the former or the latter. It'd probably be more that support him than don't support him, in my opinion, because it was for real. It was a policy that was under Obama. They have all these pictures of people in the quote unquote cages. That was under Obama's administration. So I think more will support it than won't, but some are not going to support it.
Yeah, man. I just think he needs to go back to doing it, because I'm gonna be honest with you, man. Without doing that, I just don't see how Trump can win with the courts. It doesn't matter if he rearranges his national defense team or whatever. With these silly incentive laws, these laws are designed for illegals to come over here. All of this is a huge incentive, and then you got these Ninth Circuit judges overturning every Trump move. And then you got the Democrats just stonewalling, Trump's judges. And, I get angrier at the Republicans of this, because I wish they can use that nuclear option. I just wish they would be just so aggressive and just, no, we are going to win. We see how the Democrats are cheating. They are playing games. No, we are going to get all of our people in line while Trump is president. We're going to get all of our justices, all Supreme Court justices. So that way, if we lose power, at least we have the majority of the courts. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That I just wish the Republicans thought like that. But the fact that I just feel like they're not fighting hard to get Trump's judges through, they're not using all the power they can. I don't know if Trump is going to win this immigration thing unless 2020 comes and we win the majority of the House, the majority of the Senate, and, Trump gets reelected. I think that's the only way we can solve this problem. But anyways, that's pretty much all I wanted to say, man.
Thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
All right, man. Take care.
All right, peace. All right. That'll be a wrap for me tonight. Thank y'all for joining. Really appreciate you. And before you go, if you're not subscribed already to the channel, please do so. There should be a button beneath me. If it's red, that means you're not subscribed. Click on that red button and subscribe. Click on the bell right beside it. It's a little bell icon. Click on that. Make sure it's activated so you get notified whenever I go live or post a new video that's been pre-recorded. Thank you to the moderators tonight. We had a few trolls in the building, but you got them out of here ASAP, sniping from 5,000 yards away. We got Zealand Zen, Sushi, Michelle A, Dina Jones, Zero Cool, Catherine K, Bipod, Liza Jean, Mark Anthony, Protocol, Cynthia Webb, Lucha Millo, Bill from the Hills, T-Pain, Friends, Ansel, Hip Hop Independent, Nick Taylor, Shreebs, P, Ariza, Omar Adams, and Dan Larkin. Thank you for what you do all the time. Definitely appreciate you. I will be back on Wednesday with another live stream. And before I bounce, we got super chats to read in the box here right where I'm at on my screen. Thank you to Heatherism Watson, who says, I truly appreciate your channel. You will give credit where credit is due and question what needs to be questioned. I love that you go ahead and roll it and then give your opinion. Shows like this, #MAGA. Thank you for that. Most certainly appreciate your very kind words. Thank you to Andrew Jocelyn. Speaking of sushi, he says, 40 acres in the mule was Union General William T. Sherman's Special Field Order Number 15 issued on January 16th, 1865. That account is half right. Sherman prescribed the 40 acres in the mule. The 40 acres in that order, no mule. All right. Thank you for that. Definitely appreciate you. He Ma'am says, did Nico make his trip to Texas, San Antonio? I don't know. If he's in the chat, maybe he'll answer. Thank you for that. Faith Jones says, illegal immigrants are getting jobs and free education while Americans get the bill. Very good point, and thank you for your donation. Nico says, I also forgot to mention this, that Ronald Reagan gave reparations for the Japanese that were placed in internment camps by FDR. That is true. Most things like that happen right at a particular point in time, and you can identify the people that did a certain thing and those that are victims as they're still here, right after the certain event happens. And that will be a wrap. Thank y'all for joining. And I don't got no more. Again, I'll be back Wednesday with another live show. Tomorrow, I'll probably put out a video. And Skype, pardon me, not Skype, on Patreon, what I'm going to do, rather than the podcast, I'll do a specific request video that does not have to be politically related. It could be anything you want except for anything really vile. If you're a Patreon member, I'll be making changes to that. And the Patreon link is in the box if you want to support. I'll take whatever you got. $5, $1 million, the link in your pocket, I will take it all. But the Patreon link is right there, right over here, and also in the box. Again, I'll be doing custom videos. And if you want this hat on my head right here, that's available in the box as well on the ABL merch link. A link for that will be right here. And I got much more gear on there. I got mugs, I got shirts, I got all that good stuff. These flags are going to be updated pretty soon, and I'll be able to have some other stuff available as far as it relates to the flags behind me, the hats, shirts, all that good stuff if you're interested in getting that for yourself, a friend, family member, whatever the case may be. But on that note, until next time, y'all be safe. I'm out, and peace.